and it was Sioux Center beating Brookings by a 3-2 score. In boys hockey last night, of course, it was a Huron over Mitchell 6-5. That went to overtime. Oahe over Aberdeen 7-3. Sioux Falls 2 beat Watertown 3-0. And it was the Rushmores over Sioux Falls 1 by a 5-1 score. So kind of fun to pass those things along. And of course, there was college hockey going on. And last night it was St. Cloud State losing to Miami 3-2. I knew you wanted to know that.
Yes.
Of course, Western Michigan beat Minnesota Duluth 4-0. Minnesota State over Alabama Huntsville. I can't quite get used to the fact they have a hockey team, but they do. 5-0. And of course, Northern Michigan beat Bemidji State by a 5-1 score. Gophers, of course, beat Notre Dame 3-0. They were scoreless in the second period. That game was already underway in the college hockey. So we have girls hockey for tonight, Watertown girls. And let's see, do they have any other home games after this? I didn't look.
I don't remember. We go to Mitchell tomorrow. The girls are in action tomorrow at, I think it's a 2 o'clock game.
2:30 game.
2:30 game in Mitchell. So they will be on the road tomorrow.
They will, as will you.
Yes.
As will you. And, of course, Watertown playing the Yankton Gazelles. They're 0-12 in league play. And overall, they lost to Mitchell, as mentioned, 8-1 last night. Watertown defeated Hawaii at home 4-2. That's the game we had for you on the 30th of January. They've actually had a couple of weeks off here. They defeated Yankton 7-1 back on the 3rd of January. As mentioned, they travel to Mitchell coming up for tomorrow. And 4-7-1 the Lakers, 4-7-1 overall, and in the league, they're 1-4 at home. And of course, they are 3-3 and 1 on the road. So it's funny how some years go that way, and you'll actually have a better road record than you will a home record.
Yeah, you always think you have to go out and win those games on the road, but sometimes you forget about the ones at home. Yeah, It is kind of weird how it works. You know, you wonder if there's actually home ice advantage or not, if that is such a thing in hockey.
You really do.
No, this team, this Yankton team that's here today, they lost last night to the Mitchell Marlins 8-1. So they had a tough one last night.
Yeah, Watertown will host Brookings, their last home game. Oh no, they don't. They have Brookings on the 20th here, and they have Huron here on the 21st. So they still have a couple of home games to go. So in fact, 3 of their last 4 games are at home for the girls' season. So that's good, but it's really winding down quite quickly. Of course, Watertown will be hosting the state varsity girls hockey tournament here coming up in March. And then we'll have the boys hockey tournament the following week. We'll broadcast all 11 games of the state varsity girls tournament here and all 11 of the boys games, unless COVID sneaks into the story.
I don't think so. Not this year.
Not this year. And that'll be, of course, coming up. And we just got a wave, and that was pretty cool. I think Kate Holeen was probably waving to Dad. He must be running the PA today. Yep, he is.
She wasn't waving at us?
No. Probably not.
So Yankton here tonight, they have a small team. What I mean by small is 9 players. And one of those is a goalie, so they really don't even have 2 lines. You're going to see a couple centers. They're going to double shift. You're going to see a couple wings double shifting. They really gave us 3 wings and 2 centers and 3 defensive men. So it's a pretty small lineup and young. They have 2 seniors on this team, a couple juniors, and the rest are pretty young girls.
Yeah,
so
that's right. So we look forward to that, and we look forward to getting Alex Purdy on, the Watertown girls coach, as they get ready to play Yankton. How are you doing? Good to see you.
Great, yeah, nice to see you guys again.
It's nice. You have the 3 of your last 4 games are at home. You go to Mitchell tomorrow, and that's it. So it's kind of nice to have those at home getting ready for the state tournament.
Which is at home. So yeah, it's very nice not to have to travel a lot in this really cold weather. So.
That's true. So what do you know about this Yankton team? You beat them 7-1 earlier. They don't have a lot of players out there, so their numbers aren't as good as I'm sure they'd like. So maybe you can wear them out.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a big key with any smaller team, which we kind of know too well sometimes. But yeah, they are a really small team.
In terms of numbers.
What's that?
In terms of numbers.
Yeah, in terms of numbers, size, I don't know if that matters too much in girls hockey sometimes, but yeah, they're not a very big team, so they get wore out pretty quickly. I know their goalie is pretty decent. I coached her this summer for Team South Dakota, but she has a lot of pressure on her every game just because girls in front of her get tired. She sees a lot of shots every game as well. So hopefully today's no different.
What's a young girl need to learn as far as playing goalie in the state?
Wow, just one thing? Or my biggest thing with coaching goalies is being aggressive and being confident. When you're afraid of the puck, it's very obvious, and a lot of goals will go in, and you'll probably become more afraid of the puck. So if you can be confident, challenging shooters, making them beat you versus you trying to beat the puck, that's kind of my big thing with coaching goalies for sure.
Okay, so do you have like Emma out here when somebody gets a breakaway? Do you have her come out and challenge that person, or do you have her stay back in the net? Which do you prefer?
I mean, I personally subscribe to coming out and challenging them.
Yes. Yeah, I do too.
And she does that on her own. I don't have to tell her to do that. She's a very confident goalie. She's got a lot of experience stopping shots, so I don't really have to teach her that part, which is great. But yeah, she comes out, challenges them, moves with them, forces them to beat her, which is really good for a goalie.
Well, and a lot of times like that, it cuts down the angle so they don't see as much of the net, and then a lot of times it'll also make them hurry their shot.
Yeah, well, I mean, playing goalie is really geometry. The more you come out and cut down the angle, the less they can score with, or the more perfect they have to shoot to beat you, the less work you have to do. So that's another reason being confident's a big thing, because if you are really deep in your net, they have a lot of net to shoot at. So yeah.
So are you healthy? Did you have a good week of practice?
Healthy is definitely a question mark. We got one girl out needing an MRI right now. So that's Liz Peets is out. She won't be playing today.
Okay.
Kate Holeen, one of our defensemen, currently has a wrapped wrist, to quote her. The doctors don't think it's broken, so she's playing. They said she could play as long as it didn't hurt too much. So
does it hurt?
She says it doesn't, but her face sometimes tells otherwise. But she's a trooper and she loves playing. So as long as she's going to be okay, I'm fine with her playing. But so we're relatively healthy, I guess is the right answer.
So what are you doing with the lineup? You have to move things around, I suppose, to make it work.
Yeah, you know what? We're experimenting a little bit. I guess since the game is starting, I don't have to keep it a secret. But move Taylor Esplin from defense up to second line center to try to give the second line a little bit more offense, try balance it out. And that put Katie Brunell, who is kind of a utility player, back at D permanently. So we're going to see how that goes today. Kind of nervous, kind of excited at the same time. Taylor's really talented, really fast, so I think that part will be good. But Katie doesn't have as much experience at defense as Taylor does over the years, so also nervous for that end, but we'll see how it goes.
That's just a nervous coach. That's all that is.
Yeah,
exactly.
You just don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah. If it works, I look like a genius. If it doesn't, so.
Well, but I think from a coach's standpoint, there's a lot of things that happen on the ice you can't really control, and it's different if you can be out there skating and kind of work on the situation, but you really can't. I mean, you get the right people out there, but things happen and there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, sometimes coaching games is more like chess to me than it is traditional coaching. It's not like, every play, like in football, you come back to the sideline, you tell them what you want to happen or whatever, because you get to control kind of the outcome. In hockey, you never know which way the puck's going to bounce. You never really know anything, so it's trying to get the best people out there for the best times sometimes and putting them in the best possible chance for them to succeed, and then hoping some of the things you've taught come through in the end.
Yeah, and that can be challenging, getting the right people out there, because you don't have a lot of numbers. You look at Yankton, they have 9 people, and you don't have that many more, so trying to get the right people out there, sometimes it's impossible.
Yeah, well, like when we're playing Aberdeen, I am so envious of them having 3 or 4 lines, or Sioux Falls, for example. But then we play a team like Yankton, and I feel really lucky that we have 2 full lines to kind of mess around with. So yeah, it's a definite asset for any team to be able to say, hey, my top scoring line is really, really tired. I'm going to throw out a third line there just for a shift or something to give them a break. We can't do that. Yankton can't do that. Whereas, bigger teams can just try to survive for a shift or something to give their team a bigger rest. So yeah, sometimes you don't have a choice, but you still got to do the best you can with lineup matches and stuff like that. So
do you like to control the tempo? Do you like to push it a little bit with a team like this?
Oh, a team like this, I definitely want to be in their zone the whole game if possible. So definitely, pushing it up, getting the pucks in deep as much as possible, making them go back and get it constantly. That's definitely what I would want to happen. I don't want them to feel like they're in the game as much as I can. Not trying to be mean or anything, but that's just kind of my goal. is to keep them on their heels the entire time.
So last time when we had you up here in the broadcast booth, Jeff and I gave you some advice. Do you remember what it was? We're good at advice. We can give lots of advice.
Yeah, I remember it works.
You've been preaching on it all week.
Yes, I have. Your advice was great. I'm blanking on what it is right now.
Shoot the puck.
Yes,
remember? Shoot the puck.
That was a big thing.
And we don't know if you took that advice, but we just gave it to you anyway.
Well, the funny thing was you had 40 shots on goal in that game.
Yeah.
I swear, I definitely went back to the locker room and I said, these are what the guys up in the booth said.
Yep.
You guys should do that. And they said, oh yeah, they're really nice. And obviously you're a
I wish we could get that to happen more with the boys' side and the girls' side. I wish we could kind of inject more often, and you guys would listen to us.
Don't talk to me. You can yell from up here if you want. Anytime you just turn down the mics and scream a little bit. Feel free to talk to the refs too.
Yeah. That's a nice thing about being up here. We can hear the refs. You take the headphones off, you can see it. You can hear exactly what they're talking about. You'd like to know that sometimes, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. But we will definitely. This is another game where it's shoot every chance you can get.
Great.
Because. Like I said, keeping the puck as deep in their zone as possible all the time, keeping them on their heels is going to be what determines the winner.
Right. This is a game you should win.
Should.
But, that's the other thing. You sometimes have to motivate kids a little bit and say, yeah, they probably know the same thing, and you maybe wouldn't have to get after them a little bit.
I try to stay away from that language with them just because then they tend to relax and try to have a little bit more fun instead of trying to make sure to play to win right away, which for us I've found is not a good recipe. So this is a total, hi Skylar. This is a total, let's go out there, play our game. I don't care if it's Yankton, I don't care if it's Sioux Falls, we play the same way. What the score ends up being, is what it ends up being. I don't care if it's Yankton. Let's go out there and play the same way regardless.
And we don't like to look ahead too much, but we're not going to be with you tomorrow. Give us just a little bit on looking ahead at Mitchell tomorrow.
Yeah, Mitchell's an interesting one. Actually, recently a girl on their team, Brooke Jarman, who is just a really, really good player, moved back to Mitchell from Sioux Falls a couple weeks ago.
Right,
which I'm not very excited about, just because I like to avoid playing her as much as possible. But they're a good team. They're fast. I think they're right now 4th or 5th in the state. It's going to be a tough game for us. It's going to be one of the tougher ones to end the year, especially on the road. But yeah, they're a very fast team. They don't slow down really for any reason.
Good.
So it'll be a good little test for us.
All right, sounds good. Alex Purdy, get a win. We'll talk to you afterwards.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thank
guys.
you, Alex.
Thank you. Alex Purdy, Watertown girls varsity head coach, as we get set for Watertown Yankton in this game coming up this afternoon. Actually tonight now, isn't it?
It is tonight.
It is tonight, so we'll look forward to that. And Watertown will be in their home white tonight with the yellow numbers. They have the white sweaters, the black breezers, and of course the yellow numbers on top. Sometimes that doesn't matter because they all wear ponytails. It seems like it covers up the numbers, but that's the challenge a little bit with the girls. But they'll be in their home white, and of course Yankton with their bright red uniforms, and they have
those
the
big white
breezers,
numbers,
and they have white helmets and big white numbers, and that's great. All right, Jim, of course, will do the play-by-play, so let's turn things over to him.
Starting lineup in the goal tonight is Jada Churchma, and we're going to have Lainey Keller, and Grace Livingston's going to be in the center in this group, and Brian Kohlberg. Bryn Kohlberg. And Lucky Mason, Riley Wydenbach. There's Emma Iacker, Adrian Wydenbach. And Lily Weber. We just announced them all, being that they only have 9 players. So now the Laker girls. Jada Kranz will skate out to the blue line. Skylar Kuhlman. We're doing our big sisters tonight, so we're going to announce everybody. That's Kate Holeen. Emma Foysel's in the goal this evening. And Angela Burnell. Angela Burnell usually does the U14 duties, but we have seen her at the varsity level.
Yes, earlier in the year we did a game where Emma wasn't playing.
Right. And we have Katie Burnell and Jacqueline Lloyd. And number 12, Janelle Lloyd. with her little sister. And we miss Grace Jurgens. She's a girl that started late with us. Taylor Esplin, Jill Bush, Jalen Rye, and Sophie Kruger. And they're all standing on the blue line with their little sisters. It's a little program that they do. They do some dinners together, and they kind of mentor those in practice and so forth. So it's kind of nice to see the older girls take on some of the younger girls. Of course, they play a U14. So we are going to get ready to go here. The national anthem's been played already today, so we're not going to do that.
Well, this is the 7th of 8 games, isn't it?
This is the 7th game today, yes, in this arena. It started at 8 o'clock this morning. Watertown Lakers are going to group up around their goal, sticks in the air. Yankton is to our left, our lower left, in front of their coach with some final instructions. They have their sticks up in the air, and we're going to be about ready to face off here. And we're running a little bit late, I would say maybe 10 minutes. It wasn't a 6:15 start, Jeff, or was it a 6:30 start?
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah,
so we're running just a little bit late. Yankton's going to start out here with Gracie Livingston. They're going to have Lucky Mason and Emma Iacker. Defending over there is going to be Keller and Kohlberg. The Lakers are going to go with Lloyd and Mason and Krantz, and the face-off is down, and Yankton wins the face-off. Puck is at neutral ice, and now it's dumped in by Kruger. Kruger dumps it around all the way around the corner behind the goal. Picking it over there is Krantz. Sophie Kruger goes down and pinches, and the puck comes out of the zone. Jacqueline Lloyd is going to chase it down to the far end. Shifting it all the way across the Krantz. Off the boards, couldn't handle it. And this is Yankton bringing it in the zone. That's Livingston. Livingston puck handling. Kate Holeen trying to hold her up, and a block by Emma. Emma had another one fall right in front of her. So 2 quick shots by Yankton. I don't know if they're going to give him 2 shots, but there was at least 1 real good shot. Emma finds it, and everybody's going to get a switch.
That's always good for a goalie to get have to make a save early in a game.
Yeah, sometimes more pucks on a goalie at the beginning is better. Iacker's going to face off over there with Esplin. She's going to play the center on the second line today. And Jill Bush is going to bring it back in back of Emma and look for a centering pass. And here comes Esplin. Esplin playing center tonight. She's going to take it through all by herself. And she's down the right side. And Livingston is there, takes a shot just a little bit wide. Puck comes back around. Katie Burnell's doing defense for the first time all year. And she's going to have it wide of the net. Back behind the net is Esplin. Esplin's going to look for a centering pass. And she finds it, Rye, and Rye found it. And that's goal number 1 to the right-hand side of Churchma. And this game with 15:59, we have a score by Jalen Rye from Esplin.
That's her second goal of the year.
Second goal of the year. So we talked to Alex Purdy. He changed some stuff up. And as of right now, 1-0, he's the genius right now.
That's right.
Just like he said. So we're going to start back out. The Lakers are going to stay with Esplin facing off against Livingston. Livingston kicks it all the way back, wins it, and this gets kicked back down by Keller in the neutral zone, and Rye is going to pick it up to the Yankton player, and they're going to dump it all the way back. Katie Bennell is going to go back between the circles and go all the way around behind Emma, and Jill Bush is now going to bring it back around, try to break this thing out. It's right in back of Emma, trying to regroup, looking for a pass, finds it. And that looks like Krantz over there. And here comes Jill Bush. It's Lloyd, and Krantz, and Jill Bush is going to try to bring it up herself. Gets upended at the blue line here, goes to neutral ice. Janelle Lloyd can't quite find it. They were going to call ice, and I think we're close enough. Janelle's going to put it right on the pad with a backhand. And here comes Jacqueline in the near boards here. She's looking and bounces it off the post, gets it right back, and comes back out here to Kate Holeen, mishandles it, and is back out to the red line. Goes defense to defense over to Sophie. Sophie kicks it up to the red line to Krantz. Can't quite handle it. Now she does, and Lloyd gets it over on the far side by the blue line and gets it in deep, and Jacqueline Lloyd is upended at the blue line. Here comes Yankton trying to break out. They can't. Jacqueline's in the way, and now they do. They pitch it all the way down, and we're going to have an icing call, and Yankton's going to get a switch, and the Lakers will also. The Yankton is, they have 3 wings, so there's always somebody staying out. Livingston's going to be out there right now. It looks like Kohlberg and Lily Weber's going to be out there. facing off against Esplin. Esplin gets it down deep into the corner, tries to get a little backhand, throws it at the net, can't quite get it there. And here comes Rye. She just scored with 15:59 left and a 1-0 game. And here it is at the blue line. Sophie Kruger can't keep it in. Kate Holeen tries to get a stick on it, and she does control the puck now. She's going to skate it to center ice, and she's going to try to bring it up herself. Nobody to pass to. She's doing it herself. She's going to kind of throw it down in the zone and comes back out. That was Kohlberg that hits it back out. Here comes Livingston. She's one of the only seniors, and over the top of Emma's glove. Grace Livingston ties it up with a pretty decent shot, and Emma just didn't find that one. It kind of hopped right over the top of her glove. Grace Livingston, she's one of the seniors on that team, along with Wydenbach. That's Adrian. So they're going to face off in a 1-1 game. 14:40 left in this one, in this period. Facing off at center ice, Yankton gets it, controls it at the red line, and this is Lucky Mason over on the far end. And the puck gets loose, and Katie Burnell is going to chase it back, hits it to a backhand out on the far board, and they are going to get a shot. Yankton is going to take it off the boards, and this puck is behind. And this is Jacqueline Lloyd going to take it right straight up the ice. She's got two wings. It's going to be 2-on-1 here. Jacqueline takes it in. It's right in the glove of Churchma. So Jacqueline took it all the way from the net to net, basically, and put it right in the hand of Churchma.
By the way, the officials tonight, Justin Ballast and Caleb Valinkin.
Facing off to the left of Churchma. The Lakers win it and get a shot that goes wide. And here comes Katie Burnell. She holds it in down to Jacqueline Lloyd. Kate holds it in once again, trying to hold it back. Here's Janelle Lloyd in the near corner, bounces off the corner over to Krantz. Krantz going to try to pick it off the board. She can't do it. And Riley Weidenbach is down there and kicks it all the way out through the neutral zone. This is Jill Bush going to have to chase it down, and it's going to be icing. Everybody's going to get a change. Lainey Keller has stayed out. I think this is her third shift. She stayed out. Yeah. And she's playing defense, so she's just going to stay out there. She's a junior.
Laini.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the faceoff's won by the Lakers. Here's Sophie Kruger looking at the blue line. Probably should have put it on net. She decides to skip it all the way back around, and that's Kate Holeen goes down to get it deep in her zone. Kuhlman can't quite get a hold of it, and Livingston tries to bring it up to the neutral zone, and she does. Now this goes back to Sophie Kruger. Kate Holeen's going to control it deep in the zone, and she's going to look for a pass. That's up to Kuhlman. Kuhlman can't quite get her hand on it, and here is Keller. Keller's going to take it down through the zone, and Sophie Kruger comes up with it and brats it all the way back down around the boards, and we have Rye, and it looks probably like Livingston over there on the far boards. Got it pinned up against the board. One player's down. That looks like Jill Bush maybe went down over there. Stuck on the boards. There's no whistle. Now they get it loose. Here's Kate Holeen. Kate Holeen's going to whip it all the way around, try to get it to Kuhlman. Can't do it. Keller finds it down there. She hits it deep in the zone, retreats back to her defensive spot. She would probably need a rest. Yankton tries to get a shot out front, but it can't be handled, and Kate Holeen picks it up behind the net. She's going to go out to Kuhlman, try to get it off the boards, and she does get it off the boards, and here comes Esplin. Esplin's she's about 1-on-1, 1-on-2, and gets it taken away on the near side, and she's down along the boards over there with that's Kohlberg. Her name is stuck tonight. I can't quite get that one. Lakers hold it in the zone. It's already. The Lakers hold it in. That's Sophie Kruger and Rye holding it in. And here comes Jill Bush, center ice all by herself. She's 1-on-3. She's going to take a shot high off the glove. Can't quite get the rebound. Jacqueline Lloyd comes in, or Janelle Lloyd comes in and gets a backhand. Can't quite get it to the net. And here is Krantz. Krantz over to Jacqueline Lloyd and puts a shot on it. Goes right in between the circles. That's probably going to be Janelle Krantz to Jacqueline. Janelle got it off the boards and it went to Krantz. And Jacqueline had a real nice look, and she stuffed it in the net. 11:23, the Lakers take the lead 2-1. Shots on goals 4-3 with the Lakers winning the shots on goal. We have Iacker taking the face-off with Jacqueline. She wins it. Here's Jacqueline picking it up right in front of us, and she's going to skate it in on her left side. A real nice move, and takes it in and gets a shot, and stopped. Stopped by Churchma.
We've had as many goals in the first 6 minutes of this game as we had all last night.
Yeah. A little more exciting, isn't it? Esplin, Kuhlman, Rye. Esplin wins it back to Sophie Kruger. She's going to put it on net. Blocked by Churchma. Kicked all the way out to the far side. And looks like Kate Holine's going to go down there from her defensive spot. And then Rye tries to keep it in. She's already has 1 goal tonight. And here comes Bush. No, that's Esplin. I'm sorry. Was playing defense there for a little while. She tries to get it back over to Kate Holine and can't quite do it. Here's Esplin going to try to throw it at the net. A lot of traffic down there. Yankton in pretty good position. And here's Iacker. Iacker does get it out of the net. And she's going to go along the far boards through the neutral zone. Rye runs her down and puts a puck the other way. Livingston is out there. She puts it down deep into the zone. And she's going to go get a rest. And Kate Holine brings it around the back and breaks out over here to Kranz. Over to Kuhlman in the neutral zone. Nobody can control it at this point. This is Iacker. Iacker dumps it deep all the way around. That's going to be Lucky Mason over there finding it along the far boards. Whiffs on a centering pass. Still has control of it. Kate Holine is there. Now she's going to come up with it and take it behind the net. Iacker's back there. Sophie Kruger goes down on a backhand. And here comes Kranz around the back of her net. She's going to try to get some wheels here. Gets upended and slides across the ice, but Kruger is there to pick it up. And now here comes Kruger right down in front of us, and she's going to take it all the way down by herself. She doesn't do that very often. She plays a lot of defense and going to get a pretty good shot. And there's a rebound sitting there. She can't quite get her net on it. Janelle Lloyd tried to get a shot. She can't get a shot. And Yankton kicks it all the way down the ice, and we're going to have an ice. That's Lucky Mason. They wave the icing. Katie Burnell finds it. Going to try to get it up to Janelle Lloyd off the boards. Can't quite handle it. Jacqueline does get a stick on it. And here's Keller. She's going to shoot it down. I don't think she's gone off the ice yet tonight. Burnell gets it over to Janelle again. Tries to get off the board. She does get it off the board. That's Jacqueline Lloyd. Jacqueline, long pass, a little too far for Krantz. And they're going to call icing. So Krantz couldn't quite catch up with that pass. If she would have, she probably would have been 1-on-1 at least. Maybe 2-on-1.
Yeah, 9:05 to go in period number 1. Lakers up 2-1 on 1480 KSDR. You can also view it on YouTube, KSDR YouTube.
Esplin is facing off Livingston to the left of Emma Feusel and wins that. Here comes Jill Bush, taking it around the back of her neck. Net gets it up to Rye. Rye can't quite handle it. Keller gets a stick on it. And now it comes back in the zone. Keller's chasing it down the far boards. Rye is with her. Katie Burnell's going to find it by herself behind the net. Goes over to Kuhlman. Kuhlman can't quite hold it. Esplin's going to try to get it on. She kicks it a little bit and comes out of the zone. And here, Yankton knocks it back down into the zone. Wydenbach. Lakers control in back of their net. Backhanded all the way back around. Burnell can't get it. Here comes Jill Bush. Jill Bush going to backhand it up to Kuhlman. They're stuck along the boards. Jill Bush going to chase this down. Livingston's there. Livingston takes it away from Jill right behind the net. There's somebody right in front of the net. There, Kuhlman finds her now. I could see that from a long ways away. And here's Livingston with a backhand, going all the way across the ice. Gets intercepted there by Rye. Rye kicks it down into Weidenbach from her defensive position. Falls down, and here's Keller. Keller finds it in her zone and kicks it out to the red line. Kuhlman is there. Keller tries to take it away from her. And here's a shot that goes wide. That's by Lucky Mason. And the Lakers start to control. That's Kranz back in the far corner now. She's going to get ahead of steam like she does so often behind the net. And she's going to come down right down through center ice. Gets a little bit out ahead of her. And Keller finds it from defensive position. And here's Kuhlman right in front of the Yankton bench. Kicks it all the way across. And nobody home. Chasing over there is Kate Holine. Little collision. Jacqueline Lloyd dumps it down deep into the zone, and they're going to do a dump and chase here. And Janelle Lloyd holds it in the zone, out to center ice and into the neutral zone. No icing call here. They're going to have to run this one down. And Sophie Kruger runs it down and kicks it all the way over to Janelle Lloyd on the other side. A backhand up to Janelle, or to Jacqueline. Jacqueline tries to get in neutral ice, loses the handle. Now she got a stick on it one more time. Janelle can't handle it. Krantz does. Krantz is in, shoots it right, going to try to dump it down deep in the zone, and she shot it right into the Yankton bench. So a stoppage of play, and everybody's going to get abreast.
Yes.
So Yankton shuffling people in and out. They've got several people that play wing, and then they play center. And they're short a person now. There we go. Now they're going to get back out there. That's Lily Weber. Is late to get on the ice, and Iacker's going to face off down there against Esplin. Esplin wins that. Goes all the way back around to Katie Burnell, over to Rye. And here's Esplin again. All the way back around, held in the zone over there for Yankton. That's Wydenbach. Yankton, there she is. Wydenbach holds it in again. Here's a shot that goes a little bit wide. That's by Bryn Goldberg. And Rye kicks it all the way down the ice for an icing. 6:22 left. Lady Lakers 2-1.
I'd like to know what the story is on Lucky Mason.
I went down there, and her first name, I'm going to get it for you.
K.
Yep, it's Kyra. And when I was down there getting their lineups, she spoke up and she says it's Lucky Mason. So she goes by Lucky.
And of course she wears 13.
Yeah, should be easy to remember, right?
Yeah.
There's a face-off and a shot there. That's Livingston, puts a soft shot on. Emma Feusel finds it. Jacqueline Lloyd tries to kick it back over to Kranz. Kranz got it with a backhand, try to get it out to Lloyd. She does now. Gonna try to get her legs going, can't go across ice. Kranz misses it here, and Yankton holds it in the zone. Here comes Jill Bush. She's gonna take it up. She's 1-on-4, gets it kicked back over to the red line. Krantz is down on the far end. Livingston gives her a little bump, and here comes Janelle Lloyd. Reverses field, falls down and gets it up to Krantz. Here's Krantz, falls down. So the Lakers are all over the ice. And they kick it all the way around. Katie Burnell is going to have to chase that one all the way down and around. They're going to wave the icing. Katie's going to reverse the field over to Jacqueline Lloyd. Jacqueline Lloyd's got it on her stick. She's going to take it all around the back of the net. She's going to get her legs going. Gets upended there by Lucky Mason. Jacqueline looking down the ice for a long pass to Rye and missed it. Rye could have been off to the races there. That pass was just a little bit long and draws an icing.
Nice stretch pass. That's really stretching it out.
That's stretching it out. Rye, I don't think, was ready for that. She was a little flat-footed, but if she could have touched it, she probably would have been off to the races. To the right-hand side of Emma Feusel. Livingston is going to face off against Esplin. Esplin wins it on a backhand. Goes all the way back around to Kate Holeen. Off the boards over to Kuhlman. Kuhlman's going to try to get it off the boards in the near corner. And battling over there. Now it goes back over to Kate Holeen. Kate Holeen's going to try the other side this time. Nope, she's going to reverse it back. Gets intercepted, and there's Yankton with a soft backhand, and Emma finds it. I believe that was Livingston that shot that.
So 4:56 to go, period number one. Lakers up 2-1. They have outshot Yankton in this period 8-5.
Iacker's going to face off with Esplin. It kicks it back out. And Livingston, that wasn't Livingston, that was Kohlberg. Kohlberg gets a pretty good shot from the blue line, hit a skate on the way in, but a nice shot. And here comes Sophie Kruger, is going to take it up by herself. Sophie Kruger's done that more than once tonight, and she's going to come down on her hand, and she's going to shoot it right at the goalie. There's a rebound. Puck sits out loose, and Rye wide of the net and controlled there by Yankton for a second. And here comes Kate Holeen. Kate Holeen in the far corner. Oh, and a touch pass there to Esplin. There's a pretty good look there by Esplin. And Yankton controls. This is Keller. Keller going to try to get it out of her zone. Held in there by Kuhlman. She can't get it, and here comes Iacker. Iacker's by herself right now with Emma. Goes with her forehand up and over the top of the net. And the Lakers' Rye is going to come up with it behind the net. And Kuhlman's going to try to get it off the boards here, and she's going to skate this thing up right in front of her own bench. Kicks it down in the neutral zone, and that one's going to be an icing. Both teams will switch. That was probably one of the better shots that Yankton had by Iacker. Emma Feusel saw it all the way.
Yeah, she has a pretty good shot and a pretty hard shot.
She does. It's going to be Livingston's going to face off against Jacqueline Lloyd. Jacqueline Lloyd spins around and gets it over to Janelle. Janelle tries to kick it out, can't quite do it. Comes up, gets it out to Kranz. Kranz going to be harassed there by Keller into the corner. Kranz goes down hard, loses an edge. She's got the puck underneath her, stands up, and gets it out to Janelle Lloyd. Can't quite get a shot. Chases it down into the corner, scoops it back off the shin of of a Yankton player. And now the puck does come out. And that looks like Katie Brunell over there. Jacqueline goes over and gets the puck from the Yankton player on the far end. Tries to get over Janelle off the boards. And this is Riley Wydenbach. And I think we're going to have a penalty here. And it looks like it's probably going to go on Yankton's captain here. It's going to be a roughing. That's Yankton's captain. That's Grace Livingston, one of the seniors on this team. And she, pretty important to this team, she's going to take a rest for 2 minutes in the penalty box. So a power play. It's a Pelican Power Sports power play. They're going to face off just inside the neutral zone. And Jacqueline Lloyd wins it and goes defense to defense over to Janelle right up in front of us. Janelle's going to take it into center ice. She's going to go across the blue line by herself on her forehand and kicks it all the way back out to defense. And that's Jill Bush going to slap shot and can't quite get it in there. Puck comes out. Here's Katie Brunell going to dump it down deep. Watertown Lakers chasing down to the corner. And here's Yankton going to kick it all the way back down. This is a power play. First one of the game for the Lakers. And they're going to regroup here. It's a long stretch pass up to Rye. Rye gets it at the red line, and she takes it into the zone right on top of the circle and gets upended, and that puck's going to go out of play. 2:31 left in this first period. 3 goals scored. Watertown Lakers 2-1. They're going to face off just inside the neutral zone, and that's going to be Esplin. Esplin wins it over to Kuhlman. Kuhlman's going to skate it into the zone, and she's at the top of the circle, looks at the net, goes off of a Yankton player. Yankton gets it on their stick, and it's going to go all the way back down. 1:05 left in this Pelican Power Sports power play for the Watertown Lakers, and Rye is going to get it over on the far board. Giving chase over there for Yankton is Kohlberg. Kohlberg is putting pressure on, and she does. Goes off her skate, and here comes Sophie Kruger, going to finally get it down deep. She's going to chase it down there. Going on the far end is Esplin, and Yankton is going to try to ice the puck, and they just get it off of Jacqueline Lloyd's stick, and it's go out to the red line. Kate Holene's going to take it back, and she's going to look here, crossed ice to Sophie Kruger. Sophie Kruger's going to skate it up, and now she stretches it back out to Esplin. Esplin's out there on this power play, and Esplin comes down on her forehand looking for somebody in the middle and can't find anybody, and Churchma finds it in the back of her pad.
Yeah, Willie's, a great place to eat, is sponsoring hockey this afternoon and also tonight.
We go there quite often. That's where we have our little hockey meetings. It's a great place to eat. Just on West Highway 212, Willie's.
Our hockey huddles?
It's our hockey headquarters. Kate Holene gets it off the face-off and falls over in center ice. And here comes Yankton. Yankton with 5 seconds left in this power play, and that's probably going to do it. They kick it all the way back down. It's 5-on-5 hockey right now, and Jill Bush going to take it all the way back around, applying some pressure for Yankton. Right there is Lucky Mason, and the Lakers are going to try to break it out. Jacqueline Lloyd kicks it down deep. Janelle's going to chase, and she's going to chase there against Keller. Keller along the boards tries to get it up, and here comes Jacqueline. Jacqueline's going to throw it at the net, deflected, and goes behind, and Krantz is out of the bench, and she has it on the near board and going to go all the way across, and there's nobody home. Joe Bush is going to pick it up with a slap shot off the skate of Lucky. Lucky Mason's going to kick it down, and Joe Bush is going to chase it. No icing. 37 seconds left, and Joe Bush is going to try to get something going. She's going to try to skate this up. She goes across the red line here, and she's going to lose it right at the top of the circles, and here comes Yankton, held in by Kranz. Over to Janelle Lloyd. Janelle Lloyd's going to get it deep in the corner and goes back around. And that's Wiedenberg. He's going to pick it up and scoot it all the way around. 14 seconds left. Kate Holene's going to chase it down behind her own goalie all by herself. Going to try to break it out, and she doesn't. And here she comes to Jacqueline Lloyd right in the center. Jacqueline's got a head of steam. She's going to be one-on-one here. She better hurry up. There's 2 seconds left. Shoots off the pad of the goalie. And she had a head of steam when she got it. I don't know if she knew how much time was on the clock or not, but she did get a shot off. Probably not the shot she wanted. Probably wanted to take that little in, but nonetheless, got a pretty good shot off the shoulder of Churchma. So this period ended up 13 shots on goal for the Lakers, 5 shots on goal by Yankton, and the Lakers have a 2-1 lead after the first period in this one. So far, a fairly even match. The Lakers, of course, playing a few more shots. The Lakers are not all quite in the locker room yet. It looks like Kuhlman is having a discussion with her coaches. And now they all head over to the locker room. I don't know what that was about, but they had a little discussion there before they went in the locker room.
All right, first period scoring, Lakers with a 2-1 lead. Watertown struck first with getting the goal a minute and 1 second into the game, and that, of course, was Jacqueline Rye for the Lakers, breaking a scoreless tie, giving Watertown a 1-0 lead. Then Yankton tied it. Some minute and 45 seconds later, it was Grace Livingston with a goal. It was a 1-1 hockey game. Lakers then scored 3 minutes later at 11:21. That was Jacqueline Lloyd with Kranz and Lloyd assisting on the play. The Lakers have a 2-1 lead after 1 period of play. And of course for Watertown, Feusel in that first period with 4 saves, and Churchma with 11 saves for Yankton. Just 1 penalty in that first period. Yankton's Livingston, 2 minutes for roughing. That came at 3:13. And of course Yankton was able to kill it off. Watertown was not able to take advantage of the 5-on-4 advantage in that period. So White now 2-1 after 1 with the Watertown girls hosting Yankton and looking for their second home win of the year and their 5th win overall. With a win, they could go, of course, to 5-7-1. And Watertown tomorrow travels to Mitchell, and that'll be a 2:30 face-off for the girls playing down there tomorrow. They've had a couple of weeks off, so now they have 2 games back-to-back. As far as that's concerned, we'll have the boys coming up tonight. Watertown will be hosting Sioux Falls 1. They lost last night to the Rushmores 5-1. Watertown, of course, losing to Sioux Falls 2, 3-0. So those 2 teams will try to right the ship, so to speak, and get back on their winning ways coming up here. And that'll be about an 8:15 when we drop the puck as far as the boys are concerned. All brought to you by Willie's. As we mentioned, a great place to eat, and we seem to get over there fairly frequently.
Yeah. It is kind of been the hockey headquarters. You know, you go over there like right now before the boys game, and people are over there eating, and it's kind of probably full of hockey parents right now. So it's close to the hockey rink on West Highway 212, and the food is fantastic and always good service. So that's why we choose that place for our hockey headquarters.
Well, they're also good sponsors of Watertown Laker hockey over the years. That's right. Aberdeen coming into a play today with 13-0 record, 26 points. They've outscored their opponents 141-6. Then, of course, Sioux Falls at 13-1 with 26 points. They've outscored their opponents 105-15. After that, Brookings losing last night, so they're in 3rd place with 8-4 record, 16 points. Then you have Mitchell 7-7-0-1 with 13. And then you have, of course, Sioux Center at 7-6. Watertown right now in 6th place at 5-7-1-0 in the standings. And you have Huron 4-10, Oahe 3-9, 1-1, and Yankton at 0-12. Now we have 9 games in the girls varsity division this year in South Dakota, and I've heard that all the teams will go to the state tournament. That'll be here in Watertown. Coming up in early March.
Yeah, typically the state tournament consists of 8 teams, like the boys are going to do, and in the girls' side they typically do that too. But with 9 teams, they're just going to let everybody in this year, and I assume in order to do that, maybe somebody's going to get a first round bye.
Yeah.
So, it's probably not very hard to guess who
that's going to be. Yeah.
It's probably Aberdeen, who is really kind of rolling over everybody in the girls' division this year.
That's right. By the way, Jacqueline Lloyd leads the Lakers with now 12 goals, with a goal here this afternoon. She has 12, 7 for Jada Kranz, 4 each for Jillian Bush and also for Tony Esplund as far as the girls are concerned. So that's pretty cool. And of course, Emma Feusel right now is at 4-5-1 as far as goaltending is concerned. She has an .883 save percentage. She has a goals against average of 4.04. And Watertown right now, of course, has been outscored by their opponents 16-10 in period number 1. So it's nice to have a 2-1 lead here. They've been outscored 18-12 in the second period. They've been outscored 21-13 or 21-12 actually in period 3. So they go into game today having been outscored 55-34.
So the second and third periods have not been good for the Lakers.
No, they really haven't. So that's kind of interesting. And the Lakers have not given up a shorthanded goal this year. And let's see, they have not scored a shorthanded goal this year. They've given up only one shorthanded goal. So just thought you'd find that interesting. Yankton's Grace Livingston with 5 goals right now leads their team, and 3 for Emma Iacker. Of course, they haven't scored that many goals. They've been outscored in that first period 43-0. So Yankton got their first period goal this year.
43-0 in the first period.
Yeah,
that's
so
interesting.
45-1. They've been outscored in the second period 26-4. They've been outscored in the third period 28-5. And of course, going into play this afternoon, they've been outscored 97-9. But good for them. They got a goal in the first period today. So they have taken care of that whitewash. All right. As far as the girls varsity goalie save percentage leaders right now, Riley Van Der Esch with a .973. Then you have the 8th grader, Ava Myrie, and 945. Jaden Runge at 896. Emma Foisel right now is in 4th place with an 883. Then you, of course, have Abigail Stewart Fromm at 873. Say that fast 5 times. Allison Moore 6th at 872. Megan Tegehoff at 854. Same for Sadie Clute. Then, of course, you have Caitlin Loftman and Jada Churchma here at 839. Van Der Esch right now, goals against average, 0.27. Myrie, 0.46. That's almost unheard of.
It is.
And then, of course, you get to Tegehoff, 234. Runge at 236. That's 4 goalies of the outstanding goaltending, if you will. Then you get to Moore. It jumps from 236 to 358. Oddly enough. And then, of course, you have Foisel right now in 6th place there. We mentioned at 404 as far as that's concerned. And let's see, a couple of other things here. Caitlin Holland right now leads the girls varsity with 34 goals. Kelsey Amick of Mitchell with 24. Lily Moon with 24. Jacqueline Orr with 20. And, of course, Morgan Dean with 20 as well. And then, of course, you have Brooke Jarman at 17. You talked about her. Yep. And then, of course, you have Danielle Podal at 15. Podal and Kieran Vepdevine at 14. Rylan Pesca 12. And Caitlin Poppin with the 11. Assist leaders right now, Morgan Dean with 28. Holland with 24, Orr with 19, Podell and Popham both with 14 apiece.
Brooke Jarman's just a little bit of an interesting story. At the beginning of the year, she was a player for Mitchell for a long time, and then her parents moved to Sioux Falls, so she played the whole first half of the year at Sioux Falls. And now, this point, just like last week, they moved back to Mitchell, so she's back on the Mitchell team. So that's kind of interesting in itself, and she's a great player. You know, Alex talked about her a little bit, and she's played on the South Dakota team and so forth. So she's kind of a force to be reckoned with, and it's kind of neat that she's played on 2 teams.
Well, and we went through that with our oldest son when we lived in Madison, and he ran against Watertown early in the cross country season. Then later we moved to Watertown, and then he ran against Madison. And it was kind of so I can fully understand that.
Yeah.
Holland, by the way, leads everybody with 58 points with goals and assists in there. Then Morgan Dean with 48, so there's a gap. Then you have Orr with 39, Amick and Moon both with 34, Podell with 29, Poppin with 25. So just thought we could throw in a little bit of some stats there as far as the girls are concerned, because it's kind of fun to keep track of them also.
The Holland girl, you know, she had a sister that was older, and they played together last year, and her older sister was an excellent player too, and didn't think that she could probably be replaced, but her sister kind of did. So that's kind of nice to see. That stays in the family, and she's doing a fantastic job this year at Aberdeen.
Don't worry. The sister knows what the other sister did, and said she had so many goals in her period, or in her not in the period, but in a game, so many in her career. So she goes, I can top that.
Yeah,
There's always that sibling rivalry.
Yeah, I can speak to that with Janelle and Jacqueline, and Janelle always knows Jacqueline's Jacqueline's stats all the time. And there is a rivalry. And I'll tell you what, it makes that younger sister or younger sibling, it actually makes them better because they push themselves to try to keep up with that older sibling. You know, that, and my boys did that too. And we see it a lot. And the Yankton has the Wydenbach girls, or the Wydenbach girls, Adrian and Riley. And it's the same one. One's a senior and one's an 8th grader. So they're, I'm sure, pushing each other too. But you'll see that a lot of teams, they'll have siblings on a team, and it's kind of neat to see.
Well, and sometimes the younger sister will come home and the older sister will go, if you put it on my stick, I could have scored there.
Yeah, you need to pass to me, or it's why didn't you score that one that I passed to you? It was right on your stick.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
that'll happen.
Yep. So they go back and forth, and I've had the luxury in hockey to have 2 girls play on the same ice and 2 boys play on the same ice. So it's pretty neat, and not all the parents get to do that.
Well, that's right. And then not only that, but you've had, with 4 kids playing hockey, there were probably times when you had 4 different directions to go.
Yeah, we did that many times. In fact, there was 2 years there that I recall. It was 4 leagues, 4 kids. So that leaves 2 kids without parents. So yeah, it was quite interesting. And a lot of times, we went up for an Aberdeen game, and we ended up in Mitchell in the afternoon. And there was sometimes we caught a varsity game in Sioux Falls. So we did that quite a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lots of miles, and
Lots of miles.
We've talked about it before. You wouldn't change it for anything because I think all the miles, the gas, and the broken sticks, and so on and so forth. I think it's all worth it.
Yeah.
It really is, especially now that you look back. My 2 boys are out of high school and so forth. You look back at those days with those boys, it was well worth it. And of course, the girls will be the same way when they move on.
That's right.
So,
by the way, 7 o'clock, 1480 KSTR, Watertown, South Dakota. Jeff and Jim with you, and of course Nick back at our studios. You can catch it here on 1480, but you can also go to YouTube, KSTR YouTube, and watch the game.
Yep, and it stays on there for a while. I'm not sure how long it stays on, but it does stay on there, so you can go back and you can watch it multiple times.
Yeah.
So, or if you miss part of it, and you can go back and watch it.
Yeah.
So we are at the point where the buzzer has rang. The referees are out at center ice. Yankton is congregating on their bench, and Watertown Lakers are just hitting the ice now. Krantz has made her way. She's the first one onto the ice.
Of course, now Watertown will be defending the goal to our left, farthest from their bench, and obviously Yankton the same situation to our right.
So in a 2-1 game, I don't think anybody really has much of an advantage. It was pretty evenly played games thus far. And
Watertown a little bit of an advantage with shots on goal, 13-5.
Yep. So they're about ready to face off. Lloyd, and Krantz. It's going to be Livingston, and it's going to be Lucky Mason. And Emma Foysel gets her way out. She's skating backwards through the zone. And the face-off is won here by Jacqueline Lloyd, and it goes all the way over to the other side of Janelle. Janelle's going to bring it into the zone on the far boards. Chased over there is Iacker. And Janelle tries to kick it out in front of the net, and nobody can get a stick on it. Pretty nice little leave in front of the net, and here comes Jill Bush. Takes a shot from the blue line, and there's way too much traffic in the way. Katie Burnell tries to get it in, and we're going to have an offsides call. So we're going to face off just outside of the zone. Livingston and Jacqueline Lloyd. Livingston controls that one back to her defender. That's Keller. Keller going to backhand it all the way over to try to get it out of the zone and can't quite do it. Here's Keller again, going to pitch it up, and Jill Bush holds it in deep, and that puck goes all down in the corner. Keller and Janelle Lloyd chase that one into the corner. Now this one does get out of the zone. Jill Bush going to go all the way across and pick it up. She's going to look it up and upended down there by Yankton. And Yankton's going to get a little shot. That's Lucky Mason. She took it from the top of the circle. And Jill Bush going to pick it up and goes all the way back around. Janelle gets it with her skate and kicks it out to Jacqueline. A little bit long off of Jacqueline's stick and can't quite get there. Chasing down there for Yankton is Kohlberg. Kohlberg's going to kick it all the way up off Jacqueline's stick and into the stands.
That lady made a pretty nice catch. She was just sitting there minding her own business. Puck came right to her.
Sometimes those can scream up into the stands pretty fast, and you just see a big parting of the seas.
Yeah.
So they're going to face off outside of the zone. That's Esplin. Esplin and Rye. Esplin wins the face-off, kicks it into the zone, and it comes back out, and it's going to go over to Sophie. Sophie's going to take it all the way down deep. She kicks it down. There's no icing. She's inside the red line there, and Rye gets it down in the near board, just down from her own bench. And here's Kuhlman. Kuhlman going to take it down into the corner. I'm sorry, that's Kate Holeen. Kate Holeen's going to tussle with it down there and loses the puck down into the corner, and now Kuhlman gets into the play. Kuhlman and Holeen are down there in the corner. Have it pinched against the wall. That's Keller's down there for Yankton. Keller and another Yankton player. There's 4 players down in there pushing and kicking, and now the puck's going to come out. And it gets stuck again, and Rye, here comes Kate Holeen's going to shoot it at the net, almost off of a skate and almost in, and Esplin tries to get a backhand in. That one doesn't go into the net. And now they're against the far board, and here comes Kruger. Kruger's going to take it off the skate of a Yankton player, so that shot's not going to make it down. Kate Holeen finds it at the red line, kicks it all the way over to Sophie Kruger. Sophie Kruger's going to find it up the boards to Kuhlman. Kuhlman gets it on her stick, loses it just for a second. Now Kate Holeen's going to find it in the neutral zone. Kate Holeen's going to get it on over to Esplin. Here comes Esplin. She's going to get her feet going on the far board, and she's going to come in and kick it behind the net. And Krantz is right there battling for it. Throws it in front of the net. Nobody's home. The Lakers were caught in a change there. And here's Brunell. Brunell's along the board. She can't hold it in. Jill Bush, pretty good collision right in front of us there. Nothing called. It was just a collision. And there's a trip from Yankton, and the Watertown Lakers are going to go on a power play here. Kind of an accidental trip, but a trip all in all. So Yankton's going to be a man down or a lady down, and I want to say that's Keller. Keller's going to go into the box for 2 minutes, and I think it's the only time she sat down all night, so she maybe needs a little bit of a rest. So it's a Pelican Power Sports power play for the Lakers, and they're going to face off to the right-hand side of Churchma. Jacqueline Lloyd's going to face off, and it does come back out of the net. And Jill Bush finds it all the way down by Emma Foysel. And Iacker's down there to help out. And here comes Jacqueline through the neutral zone. Jacqueline's going to take it on her forehand through the neutral zone. Takes a shot just a little bit outside the net. Jill Bush going to hold it in with a backhand. Keller's going to try to get it out. Can't do it. And here comes Lakers going to hold it in. That was Krantz. Krantz going to hold it in deep. And now it does come out of the zone. 1:31 left in this power play. Emma Foysel's going to find it behind the net and kicks it over to Brunell. Brunell's going to go along the far corner, gets it over there to Jacqueline. Jacqueline gets it to Bush, and Bush back over to Jacqueline. Jacqueline's going to go, and she's going to take a shot, and had a pretty good hold there, and Churchman got her glove on it, and Janelle Lloyd's over on the far corner, and here comes Jill Bush. Jill Bush up on top, going to take a slap shot, and goes a little bit wide. She had all day to shoot it. Kuhlman finds it, or Kate Holeen finds it down the corner. Here Jacqueline's going to take a shot at her off the pad, and it's going to stay in the zone. Here's Krantz. Krantz at the blue line over to Kate Holeen. She can't find it. Kate Holeen now gets it off her stick, and here's Krantz down to Jacqueline. Jacqueline loses it off her stick there for a second and goes back down to Janelle Lloyd in the corner. She can get it out to Jill Bush. Jill Bush going to kick it over to Krantz. Krantz holds it in just barely, and here's Janelle. Janelle right in front with a shot right in front of the goalie. Churchma falls on it.
Yeah,
kind of surprised Janelle that it was even right in front of her and she couldn't get it in.
Point blank range.
Churchma fell back on her back and fell on the puck. So we're going to change. We got 29 seconds left in this power play. Esplin's going to go. Wins it, and here's Kruger. Kruger going to take a shot, and stopped by Churchma again. I didn't know where the puck was. I thought perhaps it might have went through. Referee says no. They're going to face off to the right-hand side of Churchma here, and here comes Esplin again. Esplin loses this one to Livingston. Livingston's going to kick it over. Kruger finds it, going to take a shot from top to circle, just a little bit wide. Kate Holeen finds it in front of her bench, going to take it down into the corner. Loses it for a second. She still has the control, and here's going to come out to Esplin. Esplin can't quite get there. Esplin's battling over on the side with Lucky Mason in the corner, and here comes Kate Holeen. Kate Holeen is down there with a Yankton player. That's Adrian Wydenbach, and they're pushing, and Kuhlman goes over there to try to give a little help. The puck is still trapped, and now both players are down. Wydenbach falls on top of Kate Holeen, and now the puck is starting to move just a little bit. Kuhlman pulls it off the boards, and she's all by herself in the corner. Takes a look at the net, and a rebound goal. Couldn't find it.
Point blank again.
That was a point blank shot, and that was Esplin down there that had it right on her stick, point blank, and now we're going to get an icing call.
We saw quite a few icing calls in period number 1. Typically, you'll see more in the second period because both teams are farthest from their bench.
Right. So we're going to face off to the right-hand side of Emma Feusel. It looks like it's going to be Livingston. It's going to be Lily Weber and Riley Wydenbach. Lloyd and Kranz. 5-on-5 hockey. Lloyd wins it over to Bush. Bush going to kick it all the way around. That one goes Weber. Weber can't quite keep control of it. Here's Jacqueline Lloyd. She's finding it. She's one-on-one. Got some help on her left-hand side and shoots it over the top of the net. Janelle Lloyd's right in front of the net. Jacqueline tries to get it over there too. Can't do it. And Jill holds it in. Puck's up in the air. Now it kicks all the way back down to the other end. That was Riley Wydenbach that got it on her stick, and it's an icing call. It's going to go all the way back down into the other zone.
Played almost 6 minutes of the second period. Lakers up 2-1. They've outshot Yankton 17-6. Action, of course, this afternoon, or tonight, actually, being brought to you by Willie's.
Lloyd and Lloyd are going to face off over there. That's Jacqueline going to win the face-off to Kranz. Kranz going to take it around the back corner. This Keller's over there giving chase. And Kranz going to bring it down. She's all by herself. Here's Jacqueline going to take a shot from the circle off of Kranz's stick. Doesn't go in, and that's Churchma saving that one. And the puck's going to go all the way down, almost on goal, and it's not, and we're going to have an icing call. So Jacqueline Lloyd had a pretty good look at it off Kranz, backhanded it out to her, and Churchma was in the right spot. Both teams going to get a change. Looks like Livingston's going to stay out for Yankton. They don't have many girls, but they do have some sort of rhythm how they rotate through. And here's Yankton going to try to break it out of the zone. They can't do it. Kate Holeen finds it from her defensive position and takes it down deep. Here's Esplin. Esplin with a backhand towards the net. Kuhlman can't quite get it. Here's Esplin again. Now she's going to find it on a forehand. Blocked by Churchma. Here's Rye from the center. Redirected twice. That was Kate Holeen and Kuhlman. They couldn't find it. Couldn't find the net. And here's Lucky Mason over there with Yankton. She's trying to battle over there with Kruger. The puck comes out. Here's Rye. Rye going to hold it in. Kicks it down deep all the way around to Esplin. Esplin takes it around to the near corner, and Rye's chasing down there. She's chasing with Iacker. Puck comes out to Sophie Kruger right in front of her bench. She's going to take it off the boards and kick it down all the way to Esplin. Esplin's in back of her net with a backhand. Comes out to Kuhlman. Can't quite get there. And we're going to have a trip here. And Sophie Kruger scores. But that is not going to count because there was a trip. And that was a trip on the Watertown Lakers. Kuhlman. And the puck went over to Sophie Kruger. And she shot it and scored it. And she does not get credit for the goal. And that's Kuhlman's going to go 2 minutes for tripping. And Kuhlman comes over to Kruger and says, sorry about that. So that goal is going to be erased. So now Yankton's going to go on a power play. Their first one of the night. And the faceoff is won by the Lakers. And it's in the neutral zone here, and here comes Lucky Mason. Jacqueline takes it off of her stick, and Jacqueline's going to go shorthanded all the way down, going to throw it a little bit wide of the net. She's going to give chase down in there into the corner. Jacqueline giving lots of pressure on this man down. Power play for Yankton. And Jill Bush is going to press down. So Lakers are pressing with a man down pretty good, and here's Kranz going to hold it in just barely on her stick. And here's Jacqueline, finds it at the blue line. She's going to take it down to Kranz. Kranz can't quite get it. Along the far boards is Iacker going to try to get it out. They get it out now and held in by the Lakers, and now it goes all the way back out to Kranz. Now this is a Yankton power play, but it really doesn't look like it at this point. Here Yankton's going to try to get it deep. They can't do it, and here this is Jacqueline Lloyd. Jacqueline Lloyd going to take it off of her bench, right in front of her bench, going to kick it all the way back down. Kranz down there all by herself. Now giving chase over there is Keller. And Kranz with a centering pass comes all the way back out. Livingston gets it on her stick. I'm sorry, that's not Livingston, that's Kohlberg. Kohlberg going to take it down deep and around the back, and Jill Bush is going to try to give chase here. Now Livingston's in the play. They are holding it in, and Krantz going to take it all the way down to the other end. 34 seconds left in this power play for Yankton. It hasn't looked like a power play for Yankton. They're going to try to get it up the zone now, and over the far boards over there is Iacker. Iacker's going to take it down, and there's going to be an icing call, yes. So with 22 seconds left in a power play for Yankton, they have not been able to get organized, although the Lakers are giving pretty good pressure with a man down. They're going to face off to the right-hand side of Churchma. It's going to be Esplin. It looks like Esplin against Colbert. And Esplin wins it. Sophie Kruger takes a shot right on goal, stopped by Churchma. The puck comes back out, and Kate Holeen holds it in. Now it comes back out, and this is going to be over to Riley Wydenbach. She loses it to Sophie Kruger. Sophie Kruger going to kick it all down. 5 seconds left in that power play. Here's Kruger going to pick it up, takes a good shot right there, and Churchma's there just as the penalty expires for Yankton. Sophie Kruger, 2 good shots in a row. 5-on-5 hockey. Now the Lakers have upped their shots on goal to 20 shots on goal.
Yeah. So they've outshot them this period 9-2. But they don't have any more goals to show for it.
And the face-off, Lloyd gets it back out.
Still
and here's Kranz. Kranz going to kick it in deep. Janelle's chasing over there. And the puck goes all the way across to the red line. Jill Bush finds it off the stick of Iacker. Now the Lakers are going to control. Here comes Jacqueline at the red line, going to kick it over to her sister. Her sister's going to take it down. Janelle going to take a shot right in front of the goal. And off the goalie, there was a pretty good gap there. Here comes Janelle again behind the back of the net. And Keller's over there to try to get away from him. Here comes Jacqueline, point blank, right into the goalie. Churchma right in the right position. That's a pretty good shot, point blank for Jacqueline. She doesn't miss too many of those. Jill Bush finds it down in the far end, and she's going to go over to Janelle or Jacqueline, and she gets it to Krantz. Krantz can't get it. Now Krantz has got it on her stick, and she's going to take it down, and it's Jill Bush going to chase. Janelle Lloyd is over there with Keller on the far board. Keller gets it off, and Jill Bush shoots it towards the net. And here's Jill right in front of the net. She can't quite get it. Broken up in traffic. Jill still has it in the corner. She's going to look for a pass. Can't quite get it over there. Here now Rye takes it down deep in the corner. Janelle Lloyd's chases down over there. That's Iacker. Iacker brings it all the way back around. Sophie Kruger tried to hold it in the zone. Couldn't quite do it. Rye's going to go back and chase it. And she brings it up to Esplin. Esplin finds it right in front of her bench and kicks it on a backhand down deep, and Iacker's going to go get it for Yankton behind her own goal, and she's got a head of steam coming up the far end. A little stretch pass broken up by Kuhlman. Kuhlman, off of her leg goes to Esplin. Esplin's going to take it in herself on her forehand, going to try to get it towards the net. Can't quite do it. That's broken up down there. A Yankton player, and now it's going to Kate Holeen's going to have it in front of her bench. She's going to kick it all the way back down. Down in the corner there is Adrian Wydenbach, and she's going to reverse and get it pinned up against the boards over there. Raya's over there, and now it comes back out around. And Yankton and Kate Holeen's going to go after it for Yankton. That was Lily Weber. We haven't talked about her too much. She's been out there just as much as all the other girls. And they're fighting. Here Raya's going to find a puck. She throws it at the net and goes into the bench, takes a break. Here comes Kranz. Kranz going to try to put it deep, and she does. Keller finds it behind her own goalie. And is going to try to skate this thing out. Center ice, backhand off the boards over there. And picked off by Kranz. Kranz goes down, still gets a pass over to Jacqueline Lloyd. Jacqueline up to Kuhlman. Kuhlman gets it on her stick, puts it deep in the zone, and goes to take a break. Keller's going to find it over behind her goalie. Jacqueline Lloyd is right there. And Kranz kind of pinches from a defensive spot there, and here comes Livingston. Livingston's their captain. She's one of their seniors, and she takes it in off a backhand. Nobody home over there. And here Yankton got it off a skate, and this is Jill Bush. Jill Bush going to take it down. They're 3-on-2 if they go, and she takes a shot off the goalie. That is a shot on goal. Churchma gets it off of her pad. And Yankton's going to try to bring it out here. This is Livingston. Livingston's going to take it down on her forehand, and Jill Bush goes over and destroys that play. No call. And here's Yankton getting a shot on goal, and Emma bounces it off her pad. So Yankton is in the zone at this point. And
Emma hasn't seen many shots this period.
No, it's kind of tough when she doesn't have many shots, and all of a sudden she gets a shot like that off of her pad. And here's Kranz. Kranz going to take it up all the way along. Stretch pass to Janelle Lloyd. Janelle Lloyd over there, back over to Jacqueline. Jacqueline's going to take it in. She's 1-on-2. Going to get to her hand. Tries the 5-hole, won't do it. Gets a rebound. That one won't go in. Kate Holeen finds it off the bench. And Yankton gets it out of the zone, and Sophie Kruger's going to chase. Down to the other end. Kate Holeen's down there playing defense. Esplin is in. Kranz is out there. And Janelle Lloyd up against the board. She tries to pass it to herself and can't quite do it. Sophie Kruger misses it, and it's going to go all the way back to Kate Holeen behind Emma Feusel. Breaking it out here is Kate Holeen behind her goalie. And on the far end over there, this is Janelle Lloyd trying to bounce it off there and get it in the neutral zone, and she does. Picked up over here. This is Rye. Rye picks it up the red line, takes it into the zone. She has Esplin there. Esplin with a backhand, can't quite get it to go. It was a 2-on-1 there, and here's Kuhlman. Kuhlman going to get it to Esplin. Esplin takes another shot, gets a backhand, rebound, can't do it. Kuhlman tries to get it on her stick. She can't do it. That's broken up by Yankton. Now it comes back out of the zone. Kate Holeen's going to find it all the way on the other end, but we are going to have an icing call. So the Lakers putting some pretty good shots on down there. The puck was loose for quite a few times.
Well, they've outshot them in this period, 14-3.
You have to think if they keep shooting like that, Jeff, one will go in. I would think it would have to. Lloyd and Kranz are going to be back out on the ice.
It's still 2-1 hockey game. 3:07 to go, period number 2. Lakers up by a goal.
Iacker going to take it against Jacqueline Lloyd, and it comes all the way out to Jill Bush at the red line. Jill Bush going to try to skate it in, can't quite do it. And Jacqueline has it on her stick, and she's looking for a pass. Now she found one. Krantz got it over there, couldn't keep it on her stick, and here comes Keller. Keller's coming up, skating all the way through the zones, and she's going to look up in the center. There was somebody there. Emma goes down, out of position. She's back up. Good thing that one was wide, or that would have been a goal. She was completely out of position. And here's a point-blank shot by Yankton, and that one won't go in. That was lucky. Mason had it right on the porch. And now Janelle's going to try to control it down in that far corner. A pretty good flurry there from Yankton. And now it's going to go out of the zone, and Lily Weber can't quite hold it in. It's going to be an icing call. Both teams are going to get a change. That was a close call. Emma was on her back, and Yankton couldn't quite find the goal.
These two teams match up really pretty well.
They do. They do. Besides the shots on goal, you have to think, that one of these are going to go for the Lakers when we get it down on that far end. Here comes Rye. Rye's going to take it off the face-off, kicks it off her skate at the red line, and she's going to take it all by herself. She's one-on-one. She takes a shot at the goal, and that goes in off the right-hand side. We just talked about that. If you shoot enough, you're going to get it to go in, and that's Jalen Rye's second goal of the game. She basically took that through the neutral zone all by herself and found herself one-on-one with Churchma and sunk it in the back of the net. Jalen Rye is really having a nice game.
Yes, she is. 2 goals for her.
Esplin's going to face off with Livingston at center ice, and this one goes back out here, and there's a Yankton breakaway there. That's Iacker, takes it down, and Emma found it against the post. So Yankton took it right off the face-off and had a pretty good shot. Went off Emma's glove, I think, and right into her leg pad. Livingston's going to take the face-off here against Jacqueline Lloyd, left-hand side of Emma Feusel. Jacqueline gets it out to their defense, and that's a shot over there by Yankton that's blocked. Kohlberg took a shot there, and there's Jacqueline Lloyd can't quite pick it up. Now she finds it at the red line. She's controlling the puck over there to Kranz, and Kranz gets it off her stick and goes right in front of her bench. In the near corner, Livingston's over there with Krantz, and they're battling in the corner. Jacqueline Lloyd and Janelle Lloyd now get into it. There's another person there from Yankton. There's 5 players. We've had a few pucks stuck up against the wall tonight. It sits there for a while. Now it comes back out. Kohlberg over on the far end. And this one comes out of the zone. Jacqueline's picking it up at the red line. She's going to get her legs going, and she's going to try to go between them. Now dumps it deep and going to stay with the puck here. And this is Adrian Wydenbach. And here's a backhand from Janelle. Janelle can't quite get it in. Kranz tries to get it in. Puck's up in the air. Jacqueline throws it down on the ground onto her stick and right into Churchman's pad.
She thought she had a goal there for a second.
That was a jump ball, and I'm sure she thought about catching and throwing it in, which you cannot do. She jumped up, catches it, throws it down to her stick. Could have been a hand pass if one of the other girls on her team would have caught it, but she threw it to her own stick, point blank. Livingston and Jacqueline face off, and Janelle comes up with it on the far board. And now it's Katie Burnell has it on the far board, and we're going to get caught offsides, Lakers. So Lakers are going to get changed. It looks like Yankton's going to stay the way they're at. Yankton has Livingston and Iacker on the far end, and Lucky Mason's over there. Off the face-off here, this gets controlled into the zone by Lakers. Now it kicks back out. Joe Bush is right in front of our bench. She's going to take it down across the red line and going to get it in deep. Chasing over there, Jill Bush is still with the puck. Tried to keep it in. Katie Burnell can't do it. And this is Iyacker had a breakaway. Kuhlman was chasing and Iyacker fell down by herself.
Darn blue line came up and just knocked her right off.
Yeah, it did. And there's a shot right there by Livingston, blocked by Emma. And now there's a hand pass down there, it looks like. It must have been one of the Yankton players. Pretty good shot by Livingston.
Well,
Emma hasn't seen one in a while.
One of the Yankton players thought that they might have had a goal there.
I think so. It was. I didn't know where the puck was there for a while. Emma had it. Outside of the zone now, Esplin's going to face off against Livingston. Esplin wins it down into the neutral zone and chasing. There's a collision in the neutral zone and goes all the way back down. Yankton's going to try to kick it out, and here's Katie Burnell going to dump it all the way back down. Lakers have to get out of the zone. Delayed offsides, and the end of the period. So the Lakers get one that period. Not a runaway, but 28 shots on goal compared to 11 shots on goal by Yankton. The goalies shake hands before they go into the locker room. So after 2, 3-1, Watertown Lady Lakers. Emma Feusel tried to get over the bench down there by herself, and it didn't work. She ended up on her back going into the locker room. Now they opened the door for her. That's way easier, Emma. Just go through the door.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Sometimes they wear those goalie pads like that. It can be a little clumsy.
Yeah, they can. It would be for me.
Yeah, it would be for a lot of people.
Yeah, one goal in that period, that second period for Watertown. That was, of course, Jalen Rye getting her second goal of the game at the 2:11 mark to go in that second period. So the Lakers enjoy a 3-1 lead after 2 periods of play. The other Watertown goals at 15:59. A minute 1 into the game, it was Jalen Rye with her first of 2 goals for the Lakers. But then Yankton came right back with a minute and 45 seconds later to tie it up on Grace Livingston's goal. So it was 1-1. And then Watertown scored in that first period with 11:21 to go. Basically 3 minutes later, 2.5 to be exact. It was Kranz, Deloyd. That was Jacqueline Lloyd. And, of course, the Lakers had a 2-1 lead. And then, of course, it was Jalen Rye for Watertown, that only goal of the second period with 2:11 to play in the second period. So the Lakers right now enjoying a 3-1 lead. Only one penalty in that period. That was Yankton's Keller. 2 minutes for tripping, coming at 14-14 in the period. So the Lakers with 2 goals in the first, 1 in the second. Yankton with 1 in the first. The Lakers outshot Yankton in that period 17-7. And right now they have a 3-1 lead.
So the Lakers just kind of plugging away at this one. And 2 goals in the first period, 1 goal in the second period. So they're just kind of plugging away here, trying to stay ahead of Yankton.
Well, and it's nice that if you still count tonight's game with a period to play, they have 3 of their last 4 games at home,
right?
Which is kind of nice. Tomorrow, of course, they go to Mitchell and they play a 2:30 face-off. That'll be at Mitchell.
The Mitchell game will be interesting, I think, for these girls because the last time we played Mitchell was early in the year and we didn't have Emma.
Yeah.
I think maybe it was a sickness or whatever, and and Emma's kind of a rock in the goal there for these girls, and she's missed when she's not there. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of difference that makes. But they have some scoring down there in Mitchell. Some of those, that Amick girl has put a lot of goals on, and if you remember, that's Kelsey Amick, and she used to play here. Her family was from Watertown and moved to Mitchell. In fact, Jacqueline was pretty good friends of hers, and they played on the same ice together for a long time, and now they play against each other. So there's 2 Amick sisters that play on that team. So it's always kind of fun to play against those, and I know Jacqueline really enjoys playing against Kelsey, as they were friends for many, many years. So it'd be fun if they would play on the same team, but that sometimes just doesn't work out that way. So Jeff, did you get your ticket? Your raffle ticket? Did you get your raffle ticket?
I did get my raffle ticket. They have a couple of things they're going to give away between the second and third period. Now, maybe it's the boys' game.
I think they're maybe going to do it all during the boys' game, but that was the big raffle that all the players sell tickets, and it's one of their big money makers for the Watertown Laker Association, and they're going to start to give those prizes away tonight. So prior to the game was the deadline.
Oh, okay. I sent Vince Foley a little note that the Gophers won again today, 3-0. So then he, of course, sent me something back, and he goes, all this other stuff in there. Goes, kids were studying.
Yeah. So that's so they won last night and tonight.
Yes.
The Gophers over
3-0 both times. So Notre Dame goes up to Minnesota a couple weeks ago and sweeps the Gophers on their Gophers ice. Gophers go down to Notre Dame and sweep Notre Dame down there on their ice.
We talked about that with the home records and away records. Sometimes in hockey, I don't even know if it matters. Yeah, I guess it's the same ice, and I don't know if they're. And I suppose now we don't have the fans in some of those college arenas, right? Like we've had in the past. So maybe there isn't any home ice advantage.
Well, I don't know if there is. It does definitely makes life a little more interesting.
Besides the fact the players can stay home and sleep in their own beds and don't have to travel. That travel can, depending on where you're going, that travel can wear on an away team.
Yeah. So interestingly enough there. So we'll have the boys game tonight. Sioux Falls 1 and Watertown about an 8:15 puck drop. So we look forward to that. And then let's see, our next broadcast will be coming up a week from tonight when the Yankton boys come to Watertown to take on the Lakers.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And I see the old Watertown Lakers coach up there. Do you see him, Jeff? Donnie Meyer. He's up there in the balcony.
Oh, yeah.
He coached the girls for a few years there, and I know he stays in pretty close touch with these Laker girls yet. I know he's involved in softball, and a lot of our Laker girls play softball, so he's in touch with those girls all the time. And I know he likes to come watch them play, as he's still a pretty big fan of these Laker girls.
Well, that's
so it's good to see him in the arena.
Yeah, darn right it is. They never did turn the clock on, so we may never have a. It might turn out to be interesting how they do this.
They didn't
They
run
never
the clock.
started the clock. No. By the way, 1480 KSDR, Watertown, South Dakota, and of course hockey action tonight being brought to you by Willie's. Laker girls right now with a 3-1 lead after 2 periods of play. Laker boys will take on the Sioux Falls 1. That'll be about 8:15 or thereabouts for our second game for you tonight. So we look forward to that. Yeah, it's nice to see Donnie Meyer come out here and
been around Laker hockey for years and years. He was a varsity boys coach at one time.
Yeah, he was way back in the 50s.
Yeah, I don't know when it could have been, but actually I want to say he might have been the boys coach a couple different times. Took a little time off, and then he was a boys coach again, and then he took over the girls.
Well, I think he was a coach one time when John Jackson was an assistant.
I would believe that. Yeah. Yep, I'm sure he was, and
so he'd love it. I say it back in the '60s.
Well, let's say it was in the '70s. That'll make him feel better.
He takes very good care of me when I ever have a problem.
Oh yes.
So, yeah, he does.
Yep. He does a good job, and he really does a really good job coaching in general, but he does a really good job coaching girls. He's got a very successful couple girls softball teams. And he really has a good repertoire with those girls and does a nice job. And when he was here with the Laker girls, he had he had a really good repertoire, and in fact, he still keeps in touch with them because he comes and watch them play.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's kind of nice to see.
Well, and girls are, if I can use the term, are a little bit different than boys, but really everybody's kind of the same. Some kids you really have to get after and kind of kick them in the rear a little bit to get them motivated. And then some you hardly have to say anything to, or maybe you don't have to say anything to. So it's just a difference in personalities in kids.
Yeah, being around coaching a little bit, and I've had that conversation with many of the other coaches, and it's been said to me a couple times that you can tell the girls what to do on the ice, and if you tell them why you've asked them to do that, they do it right away. Whereas the boys, you could spend half a season telling the boys what to do, and they don't even do it. Yeah. So that's what coaches have said. The girls will do what you ask, but they always want to know why. Why do we have to go into the zone this way? Yeah. Well, this is why. Then they'll do it, and they'll do it the rest of the year.
Yeah, and that's great. Yeah.
So that's some kind of the differences, and I've done a little coaching with the boys and the girls at the younger ages, and I always found that the boys were always more eager to get back on the ice, and where the girls were sometimes, especially at the younger ages, they were talking about something else on the bench, and you had to say, oh, hey, Jacqueline, time to get on the ice. Oh, okay, yep, good. And then when they were on the ice, they were locked down, but then when they get over to the bench, it's not really about hockey. And I don't know though it's like that now, because at the varsity level, they're pretty locked in, but it's pretty comical with the younger girls. They're not real interested until they get on the ice.
Well, and another thing about kids, maybe not all of them nowadays, but when the game is over, they'll talk to friends on the other team, things like that, and once the game's over, they're on to something else.
They are, and you see that. You see that at the varsity level. We saw it last night with our boys. The game is over, and they're all talking in center ice, and it's kind of nice to see. And of course, there's a lot of summer leagues now, summer camps, and things like that go on. So these kids run into each other all year long. Not only in hockey, a lot of them play, a couple different sports too. So they get to know these kids in the area, and they become friends after a while, so it's kind of nice to see them be able to, when the game is over, just to be friends again.
Well, and sometimes, I think it probably goes this way in most sports, but if you start, depending on what the age is, you may run into these kids all the way through your schooling career, middle school, high school, things like that. So, Didn't I see you about last year as a so-and-so? And, that's just how it is. You kind of play against, and it's that way in track and things like that too. So
well,
and sometimes you look at him and you go, hasn't he graduated yet?
We see that, especially in the girls' level in hockey. Some of these girls have played varsity hockey for years. Yeah. In fact, I think Jacqueline played as a 7th grader, and Janelle did, and along with a lot of other girls, Jada Kranz and so forth, they play very, very young. So we get to see them play varsity hockey for like 4 and 5 years. It's kind of neat, sometimes 6 years.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat at the girls level that happens, and of course it's all a numbers game.
They're trying to change that.
They are. The state is making a big push to try to build these girls programs throughout the state from the bottom up. And it's working. It's coming along. So the girls' numbers there's a pretty big U14 league right now for the younger girls, and at some point it'd be nice to get a U12 league. So a U12, U14, and then they can jump up to JV and varsity. So the Watertown Lakers this year did not have a JV team because once again it was numbers. So it's U14 and right to varsity. So
which is a pretty big jump.
It is a pretty big jump. It is, and. Oh, they're giving a raffle away, Jeff. I didn't hear your name.
Well, there's a couple things down there that I told them, if I win, give it to somebody else.
Yep, but there's some things that you'd like. They got a big TV. I bet you'd take that big TV.
Yeah, that. But they had, what do they call those things that are on wheels? Hummer boards or
yeah, you don't need one of those.
No,
you don't need one of those.
My kids wouldn't let me have that.
No, that would be confiscated as soon as you came home with it.
Yeah,
before you put batteries in it.
Yeah, kind of like my kids when people 2 houses up from us have the trampoline, and my kids told me, "Dad, stay off the trampoline."
All right, we're getting ready to face off. Livingston and Jacqueline Lloyd. Going to take it, and Jacqueline Lloyd wins it, and this is going to go back to Brunel. Brunel tries to get it to Jacqueline, can't do it. Stolen and a shot. Lucky Mason got a shot off. And here comes Jacqueline Lloyd, going to pitch it all the way around over to Kranz. Kranz gets it back out on the stick of Jill Bush. Jill Bush all the way over to Janelle Lloyd. And she's going to try to get a shot here. Does get a shot. And Jill Bush going to get a shot on the other side on the rebound and can't get it to go. Churchma has 2 quick shots and good shots. Here's Janelle going to pick it up at the blue line. Misses it and can't keep it in the zone. Now she's going to throw it off the board on the far end. Cran's going to chip it in. Cran's going to chase down. And Keller gets it and tries to get it back out of the zone. And here's Jill Bush going to throw it in from the blue line. And here comes Yankton. Upended there by Brunell. Can't quite keep it in there. That's Iocker going to try to get it out. Brunell's got her stick on it. Here's Iocker. Iocker's at the red line. Going to take it in the zone all by herself. She's 1-on-4 down the side over Krantz. Krantz gets in the way down there. And here's Kuhlman getting into the play down on the board. Here's a puck trapped against the boards, and it comes back out to Janelle Lloyd. Janelle's over on the far end. And here comes Jacqueline along the board. She's going to get her legs going, and she's going to be 1-on-1 here. And picks it back to Krantz, and back over to Lloyd, and can't quite get it. Gets upended by Churchma, and this is now controlled by Yankton and goes all the way back down. Sophie can't quite keep it in. Chasing down there is Riley Wydenbach on the far corner. That's Kate Holeen over there battling. Kate Holeen gets the puck from her and tries to reverse it all the way around. Here's Rye. She has 2 goals tonight. Pitches it around her own goal, and here comes Sophie Kruger. Reverses field, going to go back around, all the way back around. It's going to come up to Rye. Rye's going to pick it off the boards, going to pitch it up. She whiffs on the pass, trying to get it to Espelin. Can't do it. Now she's going to do it all by herself. And over to Kuhlman. Kuhlman with the backhand to Rye. Can't get her stick on it, and here comes Espelin. Espelin's going to take a shot, and Churchma finds that one.
We don't have on the Yankton roster, whether they're junior, senior, 7th graders, or whatever, do we?
I have some of it.
So.
I have some of it. We have Adrian Wydenbach and Grace Livingston are the 2 seniors on the team.
Because Churchma has done a good job in the net.
She's a sophomore. Okay. She's a sophomore.
Yeah.
Faced off to the left-hand side of Churchma, and this is won by Yankton. Yankton's going to take it out of the zone, kicked out by Wydenbach. Wydenbach takes it over to Iocker. Iocker's 1-on-1 with Emma. Emma gets it off the pad, and it's a battle on the far end. Here comes Espelin. Espelin's going to backhand it off the boards and gets upended over here. Lucky Mason's got it on the far boards, trying to get her stick on it, and does. Iocker's going to be upended at center ice. There's a collision at center ice with Kohlberg. And now the Lakers are going to try to regroup here, and Jill Bush takes it off her skate. Nobody really has control of it at this time, and Yankton's going to try to get it out of the zone, and they do. Jacqueline Lloyd skating around at the red line, and she's going to go around Lucky Mason, take a shot right into the glove of Churchma.
Yeah, she's a pretty good little goalie.
She's seen a lot of shots this year. Every team that they play against has put a lot of shots. Lakers have already put 32 shots on her.
Yeah.
And, when you get a team like that takes a lot of shots, you make a really good goalies. Livingston and Jacqueline Lloyd going to face off here. Jacqueline wins it. Krantz takes it down deep in the corner, gets upended. Here's Jacqueline going to take a shot from the far rail. That one doesn't get in. Now she's going to get on the backhand, going to dump it in deep down over there. Janelle's chasing over there. Jacqueline's going to hold it in again, and does, and flips it into the Yankton's bench.
All right. 13:46 to go in this hockey game. 3-1 Lakers with the lead. They've outshot Yankton 32-13 so far.
Livingston and Jacqueline Lloyd are going to face off to the right-hand side of Churchman. The puck is down and controlled. Keller takes it all the way around for Yankton, and here Jill Bush is going to find it along the rail and chips it in. Krantz finds it behind the net. Over to Lloyd. She can't get a handle on it. Here's Jill Bush again, take another shot. That one is into the pad of a Yankton player. Now they're going to go down the board. Cran's going to try to get it back in off the board, and play it at the blue line is Brunell, and nobody really has possession there. Now Janelle Lloyd chips it in on a backhand, gets it into the zone, and that's Livingston picks it up, and she's going to skate it out of there. Jacqueline Lloyd goes in with a collision at center ice, and here's a shot from outside the blue line by Keller. Go over the top of Emma Foysel. Here's Livingston, tries to keep it right on the ice, and here's Jacqueline Lloyd. She's going to pick it up at center ice, and she's got control of it, going to try to get around Livingston, and does get into the zone, throws it at the net just a little bit outside, and comes all the way back around, and here's Janelle Lloyd's going to find it on her backhand, and Kranz going to throw it way wide of the net, or just going to dump it so she can get another break, and held in by Kate Holeen. Now it comes back out. It looks like Espelin Here's Kuhlman going to right out in front of us, and she touches it down into the zone. Keller's going to try to reverse it back out, bounces it off the board over here. Sophie Kruger can't quite get a handle on it, and she's going to beat Livingston down there in the corner. Now she's going to kick it up to Kuhlman right in front of her bench. Goes down in there, and here's Livingston's going to get a good shot a little bit wide. Chasing over there is Riley Wydenbach, and the Lakers' Rye is going to kick it into the neutral zone, and here comes Kuhlman. And she can't keep it in, and all the way back down. Kate Holene's going to chase it back of Emma Feusel. Reverses it all the way around and over to Kuhlman. Kuhlman skating down in the corner. That's Lucky Mason down there. Here's Keller with a shot. Not a real hard shot, but a shot nonetheless. Emma Feusel finds it at her pads, and everybody's going to get a change. Everybody's getting a little tired that shift.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So,
11:50 to go in this hockey game. Still 3-1 Lakers with the lead.
Lloyd and Kranz going to be out there off the back of the net. Jill Bush has it over there, and here comes Jacqueline. Jacqueline's got fresh legs. She's got her sister on her left-hand side. It's 2-on-2, and Jacqueline goes around, gets a shot off the shoulder of Churchma, has not been able to find the net on some of those breakaways. And this is going to go all the way back down. Jill Bush going to grab it behind Emma Feusel. There's no icing called. And here comes Jill. She's going to take it in front of the goalie. A little bit dangerous. She's going to stretch it out. She can't quite keep by there. Now she's got the handle on it. She's going to get maybe a shot. Can't quite get it. And she's going to take her backhand, put it in front of the net. Nobody home. And Jill's back down in the corner. Going to throw it in front of the net. There's still nobody in the front there. And here comes Jacqueline. She's got it on her stick. She's going to try to get to her forehand. Looking down low. Tried to redirect. Kranz couldn't quite find it. Katie Burnell is going to keep it in the zone along the far boards. And kept in there now by Jacqueline. Jacqueline's going to come around the left-hand side. Going to go to her forehand, take a shot. A good shot. Runs right into Janelle right in the middle of the ice. Blocked by Churchma. Goes off of Sophie. And Kate Holene finds it and tries to kick it back up. And here comes Keller. Keller in the neutral zone right over to Jacqueline. Jacqueline Lloyd gets a little resistance there at the red line. Lakers are going to go get a switch. Kranz is going to stay back out there. She's going to look for a shot. She's skating in, loses her edge, and takes the goal right off the mooring. She went right through the goal.
No, you're supposed to put the puck in the net, not you.
And she skates over to the bench. Took out the goal there. It's sitting on two little pegs, so it does fall off pretty easy. Lucky for her.
Yeah.
Fortunately for her. Esplin's going to take the face-off with Livingston just outside the zone, and won by Yankton. Now Esplin gets it back, tries to take a shot right into the skate of a Yankton player. And over on the far side over there, this is Kohlberg. Kohlberg going to take it in. Looks like a trip, and it is going to be a trip. It looks like Esplin was skating next to her and got a trip. And Esplin's kind of got a smile on her face. She didn't think she did anything wrong. Referee thinks she did. So it's 2 minutes. This is going to be a power play by Yankton. And Yankton's going to get their right personnel in there. Added to the mix was Wiedenbach, that's Adrian. Kate Holine gets pinched along the boards as she tries to bring it around. Keller's over there pinching her against the boards. And that's going to be Iacker all the way back around. Here comes Livingston. Livingston's going to find it. Lakers are sitting back with a man down. And there, now Rye gets out there, and she's going to do a really nice job getting it all the way down, and they're going to ice the puck. Jacqueline Lloyd's down there giving chase. And he's going to kick it out, and here comes Rye, going to try to get a shot, can't get it on her stick, and now they take it out. Here's Livingston. Livingston's going to go all the way down. It's going to be a icing. Nope, they're going to wave it off. Tries to take a shot off of a Lakers skate there, and here comes Sophie Kruger, going to take it all the way down and try to kill this power play. 1:15 left in this power play for Yankton. And bring it back around is Weidenbach. That's Adrian. They're going to try to regroup here and get it out of their zone. Jill Bush will not let them get out of the zone. And there's Rye, Jalen Rye, going to kick it all the way back down. And here Yankton's going to try this again. Keller skating it up along the far board. She does get it out of the zone and taken down and tackled over there by Jacqueline. Jacqueline finds it on her stick, and she's going to pitch it down from the red line all the way down and back of Churchma. Lakers are going to get a switch here. Power play, 36 seconds left on a power play. from Yankton. Keller's going to try to take it up. Can't quite do it. Janelle Lloyd finds it on her stick, and here's Keller trying to get it in. She can't do it either. Janelle's still giving chase to the puck. And here comes Lucky Mason going to take a shot off of the pads of Jill Bush, and Jill Bush finds it on her stick, and here she goes up through the red line and gets upended here. And here comes Yankton with a shot. That was Kohlberg, took a shot, and Holine's going to try to get it out of the zone and does. Wydenbach has it. 5-on-5 hockey, so they killed the penalty once again. Here comes Jill Bush, going to bring it into the zone, take a shot just a little bit wide, possibly deflected. Comes off the board and back to Churchman. She's going to cover it.
Yeah,
so
7:54 left in this hockey game.
So another missed opportunity for Yankton on a power play.
Yeah.
Lakers doing a good job with a man down. They really have. They've applied pressure all over the rink. Lloyd and Livingston going to take it. And controlled there by the Lakers in the zone. And here's Janelle going to take it along the far boards there and reverses it. Going to give it back to Jacqueline at center ice. Tries to get it back over to Janelle and does. Janelle's going to have it on her forehand, far board, and tries to get it into Krantz. Krantz gets upended from the rear and gets it over to Jacqueline Lloyd. Jacqueline's going to skate it in, takes a shot at the goal. Churchma finds it on her pad. Here's Krantz. Krantz going to kick it all the way out, finds Jacqueline Lloyd. Jacqueline's going to skate it in, falls down, still has it. She's going to whap it down deep to Krantz. Krantz going to try to look inside on a backhand. Nobody there. Goes out to Sophie Kruger. Kruger's going to keep it in. Now it comes out Kate Holine, and they're going to have to check out. Delayed offsides here. Lakers check up on that one. There's a collision with Keller and Jacqueline Lloyd, and they're going to get back in the zone again. Here's Keller going to pick it up behind her goalie, and Janelle Lloyd's going to give chase to that. Holding in the zone is Rye. Rye doing a nice job tonight. She really looks like she's in rhythm. She has 2 goals, and she's all over the ice tonight.
Yes.
Now this puck is chased out, and that one's going to be waved off icing. Lakers are going to chase it. That's Esplin going to chase it behind her goal. Giving chase over there. Janelle Lloyd gets it on the near board off of her bench and tries to get it out, and nobody home, and Keller going to tap it all the way back down. Janelle's got it back on her stick and going to bounce it off the boards to Rye. Can't quite do it. Keller and Janelle Lloyd playing catch there. And now Janelle goes and takes a break. Katie Brunell's going to find it in the near corner. She's going to try to reverse it, and she does with the backhand, and this is going to go to Jill Bush. Jill's going to tap it off the referee. That worked out pretty good. Yeah. Esplin finds it at the red line, and she's going to skate it in by herself. Gets upended here, and that's going to be a hook, a hold. It's going to be something on Yankton. Oh, he's going to call a trip. I didn't think it was going to be a trip. It doesn't matter. It's 2 minutes. They're all 2-minute penalties. So Esplin's going along the far boards over there and gets tripped by Kohlberg. Bryn Kohlberg is going to sit for 2 minutes. So with 6:05 left, Watertown Lakers are going to have a power play here. Jacqueline wins the power play. Keller gets it off her stick, and here's Krantz down in the corner, going to tap it back out to her defense. That's Jill back over to Krantz. Krantz to the center to Jacqueline. Jacqueline's going to take a shot, try to 5-hole, and Janelle tried to get a rebound and was leveled, I would say, just leveled by Keller. No harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul.
Nothing called.
Yeah.
It gets a little rough even in the girls' game, right in front of the net.
36-14. Lakers have advantage shots on goal. They're on the scoreboard leading 3-1.
Jacqueline wins the face-off. Here's Cran's going to try to pitch it back out to Jacqueline between circles. She throws it at the net, and that's in. She threw it at the net, I think, hoping for a rebound, and it went in, and Churchma can't believe she missed it. So Jacqueline throws it at the net, like we talked about with Alex at the beginning of the game. Just throw it at the net. And that's exactly what Jacqueline did and scored her second goal of the night. They're going to stay out there. Jacqueline against Livingston.
13 goals for Jacqueline on the year.
And this goes back to Jill Bush, going to try to get back out to Jacqueline. Jill Bush going to take it off her stick, and she's going to go off to Cran's. Cran's going to get it up to Lloyd. Here comes Lloyd. She's 2-on-1. This is Jacqueline. She's got her sister on the side. Oh, and she stuffs another one in. So Jacqueline Lloyd with a hat trick had her sister wide open. She wasn't going to pass it to her sister. She put it in the net instead. So Churchma 2 quick goals against her, and Jacqueline had a pretty good swat at that one and finds the back of the net.
That was 16 seconds apart.
So 2 goals in 16 seconds, and she's going to go sit down, and Esplin's going to take the face-off, and that's going to go against Livingston. Livingston wins the face-off, but Esplin still finds it back there at the red line, and she's going to dump and chase.
That might be Jacqueline's first hat trick this year.
I'm not sure. It might be.
Yeah.
It might be. So Sophie Kruger going to try to keep it in. She can't do it. Chasing down there is Emma Iacher. Kate Holeen has it. Now Iacher. Kate Holeen gets it back up to Kuhlman. Kuhlman right in front of her bench. Going to try to get it. Centering pass. Wrong person. Livingston had a point-blank shot. Emma Foysel with a nice block off the shoulder. And here comes another shot. A little bit wide. Hit the post. Emma wasn't worried about it. Didn't look like it was going to go in. So here's Holeen with Livingston. They got it pinned up against the board. Kuhlman's over there trying to get it out. Puck is stopped. Lucky Mason goes over there. They're poking at it. Now it comes out. Kate Holeen skating behind her goalie and gets it up to Rye. Rye's going to get a centering pass and does. Esplin can't quite hang on to it, and she's chasing down there. Here's Rye. Going to try to get it in there. Cannot get it in the zone. Here comes Sophie Kruger. Esplin picks it up into her zone and gets upended over there by Livingston. Livingston's going to pick it up on her stick and take it through the neutral zone. Kuhlman is chasing. Sophie Kruger with a nice little poke check and takes a backhand and gets it back out of the zone. And here comes Sophie Kruger. She's going to skate it for a bit and get it up to Kuhlman. Hits her in the back of the leg. And now Sophie Kruger's got it again. Look out, they're going to get 6 men, and that's exactly what they did. The puck, Sophie Kruger shot the puck in front of her net, and Watertown Lakers were in a change. And I saw it coming, and there's going to be 6 players. Kranz is going to sit that one. Everybody jumped on the ice, and the puck was right there. And if the puck is right there, and all those people, and 6 players, and they will call that, and it's a penalty. So Yankton's going to go on a power play here with 3:52 left in this game. Katie Burnell controls it behind her net. Nobody's chasing for Yankton. And here comes Jacqueline. She's going to skip it all the way down and maybe on goal. Not quite on goal. Churchma kicks it out to the side over there. And that goes over to Wydenbach. Kind of struggled with that one all night. Emma Foysel kicks it out to the side. Here comes Jill Bush. Jill Bush kicking it all the way around to Jacqueline. Jacqueline pitches it down in front of the near boards. Trying to kill this power play. 1:26 left in the power play here for Yankton. Yankton has not had success on the power play. They've not been able to get grouped up for a power play. And here comes Jacqueline, or back at the back of the net. She's going to take a shot. I'm sorry, that was Jill Bush. Got a pretty good shot. Short-handed shot. Jill Bush finds it on the far board and kicks it back into the zone. Again, Yankton has not had a lot of success as Keller brings it out of the zone. Jacqueline finds it inside the blue line, bounces it off the board, is going to apply a little pressure down there, and that is Wydenbach, Adrian Wydenbach. Jacqueline finds it on the boards over there. Jill Bush kicks it over, and here comes Yankton. Keller is going to put it all the way down from the far blue line on net. Emma Foysel kicks it out, and here comes Janelle going to take it all the way down the far end. Yankton's going to get a switch here with 33 seconds left in their power play. And Janelle finds it and holds it in the zone. They're going to get called for offsides as Jacqueline was caught way down in the corner. So 27 seconds left in this power play. They've had 3 power plays tonight. None of them have really acted like power plays. So Yankton's going to try to get the face-off here, and they win the face-off. Now it goes over to Rye with 2 goals already tonight in this matchup. Esplin's going to look, going to get her legs going. She's going all the way across the ice, and now she's going to go across and wipes out over on the far boards, swatting at the puck as she slides, and they've got tussle over there, and that's Esplin and Lucky Mason, and I think he's going to take them both. So they're going to take them both. Esplin and Lucky Mason are going to go into the bench. Esplin is going to hide. Esplin's doesn't think it's a penalty. Referee's looking around. I think Esplin was supposed to go in on that. Yeah, Esplin's hiding from the referee. Well, and they're going to do it's going to be So the referees, I'm not sure what they're going to do here. We're on 4-on-4 hockey. I think the initial call was Esplin. Esplin is hiding from the referee. She's standing out at the dot. And here now he found her. Esplin was not going to go in the penalty box. She went over to get ready to face off. And the referee looked for a long time. He knew he was supposed to put somebody in there. So we have coincidental penalties. That's Esplin and Lucky Mason's both gonna sit. So it should actually be 5-on-5 hockey, but it's 4-on-4 hockey. I don't know why that is, Jeff. There's offsetting penalties. Oh, there's another penalty there. Okay, so that one's cleared off. All right, so now the other penalties, the coincidental penalties start. So here comes the Watertown Lakers. Here comes Jacqueline Lloyd rushing it up across the neutral zone, and she's going to go down along the far corner there, and she's going to look in the middle for a pass. Can't quite get there, looking for Rye. And Joe Bush going to find it in the neutral zone. 128 left in this game. Livingston's going to try to find it over there. Joe Bush slaps it all the way down. 5-1 with 120 left in this game. And Yankton finds it down in the far corner and gets it out to the neutral zone. And Katie Burnell kicks it back in. We're going to have delayed offsides. Lakers get out of the zone. And here comes Keller. Keller can't quite keep it on her stick, and Burnell's going to go down in the corner with her. Keller throws it in front, and nobody's there. And we're down to 1 minute left in this game, and Yankton is trying to kick this thing around. And here comes Jill Bush. She's going to control it on her stick. Back over to Janelle. Janelle can't quite get it clean on her stick. Now she does. She's going to take it into the zone. Janelle's going to kick it over to Jacqueline. Jacqueline wasn't ready for it, but above the circles. And here's Jacqueline just going to pitch it at the net from the corner, from the far board, and she's going to catch it over the far board and pitches it over again now and gets upended. She's going to control it over there, going to take it down in the far corner. 26 seconds left in this one, and Jacqueline's going to get it over to Janelle. Janelle's in the near corner, going to try to get it out to her defender. That's Joe Bush. Joe Bush holds it in on a backhand, and here comes Jacqueline. Jacqueline's going to take a shot off the leg of Kranz. Kranz picks it up in the near corner. She's going to take a shot, blocked. And 7 seconds left on this one, and this one is going to be over here real soon as Kranz gets it on her stick. Going to try to maybe throw it in front of the net one more time. Can't quite do it, and this thing is over. It's 5-1. Watertown Lakers. 38 shots on goal for the Watertown Lakers versus 16 for Yankton on a 5-1 final. So Jada Churchma took quite a few shots as a sophomore. She's seen an awful lot of shots this year and held out quite a few there tonight. She's stopped 33 shots tonight.
Yes.
So.
Right. Nice to have you with us. 1480 KSDR, Watertown, South Dakota.
And Jeff.
Yes.
We see you have a visitor after this game.
I do. That's true. That's great. Let's review the scoring real quick. Like for the Lakers 5-1 final. They scored a minute 1 into the hockey game. It was Jacqueline Rye, the first of 2 goals tonight, giving Watertown a 1-0 lead, but Yankton tied it up at 1-1. Some 1 minute 45 seconds later, Grace Livingston made it a 1-1 hockey game. Lakers took a 2-1 lead into the dressing room at one period, scoring at 11:21. It was Jacqueline Lloyd with Kranz and Lloyd assisting on that play, so Lakers had 2-1 after 1. They had a second period goal. At 2:11, it was Jacqueline Rye, her second goal of the game. And then Watertown had 2 third-period goals at 5:44, Jacqueline Lloyd 16 seconds later again. And the Lakers get the hat trick from Lloyd and a 5-1 win. They're now, of course, 5-7-1 on the year. So 5-1 with the Lakers winning over Yankton, and Emma Feusel shut them out the last 2 periods of the game, and Lakers getting 2 goals in that third period.
Alex has joined us, the head coach. Alex Purdy, nice to have you back after that
Long time
game.
no see.
It's been quite a while, hasn't it? It's been about 3 periods.
Yeah.
And, well, you guys What do you think? Did you play pretty well tonight, or just do what you had to do?
I will not say we played well. No. We won, obviously, so I'm not complaining, but it could have been a lot less sloppy. We could have had a lot more offense before the, 5 minutes left in the third period. So,
right.
But a win's a win. I can't complain. But there's a lot of things we need to improve on if we're gonna beat some other teams in the state. So
you're gonna go down to Mitchell tomorrow. What do you think? You're gonna have to play a little better to beat them.
We have to play a lot better to beat them. The girls know it. They were saying it in the locker room in between the second and third. Yeah. We have to improve on a few things if we're gonna compete with Mitchell tomorrow.
So tonight, what do you think your biggest weakness was? I mean, you won the game 5-1, but you say you didn't play real well. What is something that they did not do that you would have liked to see them do?
We, in my opinion, were very slow. Didn't move our feet very much. We have a problem of playing down to other teams. And then conversely, we also play up to other teams at times, it's great when that happens, but I wish we would just play our game and then have that be our game.
Yeah.
But, it's something that's kind of plagued us for a couple of years now. This game shouldn't have been as close as it was for a majority of the game. Not knocking on Yankton or anything, but I'm just being honest.
Yep.
So yeah, we kind of played down. We're very slow, doing a lot of puck watching, a lot of coasting. Goodness gracious, we could have coasted all the way down like the highway with how much we weren't moving our feet. But
that's something only a coach notices, right? Because you see these girls in practice, and you know who skates and who doesn't, there's
no hiding. Yeah,
you know who's coasting and who's not.
Oh, and it's funny because they'll call each other out, but then they'll go out the next shift and do it themselves. So it is kind of funny because everyone knows when each other is coasting, but they never seem to know when they are. So
yeah, that's right. You should bring a mirror.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, you know what you're telling your teammate? How about we think about that for a second?
Maybe what you should do is have them go to KSDR YouTube and watch the video. I know my girls watch it all the time, but they can go on that tonight and watch our live stream.
Really?
Yeah, so it's on there, and you can go look at it too.
Really? I'll definitely do that. I've been using Live Barn, but maybe if there's some better camera angles up here, I'll gladly.
All the games do stay on that YouTube channel, KSDR YouTube. They stay on there. I think they stay on there most of the season. So
really?
You can go back and review those anytime that we're live streaming. So
dang, I definitely will. That's a good little plug there.
Yeah. You have to give the girls a little assignment tonight on coasting.
Yeah.
So they can
plenty
see
of stuff for them to watch. So
that's right. So you go to Mitchell tomorrow for what, a 2:30 game?
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit earlier. I think it might be like 1:15.
I can't remember.
But sometime early afternoon. I'll definitely check before I get up tomorrow morning.
That's right. That's right.
So
the Mitchell team, they're going to play 2 full lines, aren't they?
They might have, I think, enough for like 2.5 lines. Okay. I don't think they have enough for a full 3, but yeah, I mean, they're very fast. They have a lot of really good players. The Amick sisters are unfortunately really good, and then like I was talking about before the game, Brooke Jarman being on their team again.
Yeah, that's going to add a dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah, she's the type of girl that can it's kind of like Jacqueline. She'll just, if she wants to, she'll skate it from the defensive end to the offensive zone and get a good shot. I'm hoping she doesn't feel like it tomorrow very much, but
they must like to have her back. It's kind of an interesting story, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. She played for Sioux Falls the first part of the year. She's from Mitchell, went to Sioux Falls, and then played there, and now her family has moved back to Mitchell, and so she has to play down there for the second half of the year. It must be kind of interesting for her also.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, she's a really cool girl, so I'm sure she loves being back with some of the people she's grown up with, but yeah, it had to have been interesting going to Sioux Falls, playing there for a few weeks or months.
And trying to meet friends, right, and make friends.
Yeah,
and then when she finally makes friends, she's got to go back to her old friends.
Yeah. Well, if I know Brooke as well as I think I do, I'm sure she adapted just fine. She's the type of girl that can make friends with anybody. So yeah, I'm sure she is good there.
Well, that'll be interesting to see her play. It's going to give Mitchell just another weapon, which they perhaps didn't really need. But the last time we played Mitchell, we did not have Emma, did we?
No, we didn't have Emma, and I think we were missing maybe one other person. So it was like the second game of the season. We had, I think, 2 or 3 people out with COVID stuff. But yeah, Emma wasn't there. She'll be definitely an extra layer of good things for us. But it's going to be a tough game. There's no way around it. They need to come tomorrow a little bit more prepared to play than today, and be excited to play and look like they want to play. Maybe it would be helpful too. But yeah, it's going to be a fun game.
Well, good, Alex. We appreciate you coming up pregame and postgame.
I feel like a celebrity.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We have some more home games, but I think this is our last girls broadcast, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you for what you've done all year, and you've got a way to go. But we are going to see you in the state tournament. So,
Awesome.
So you come back, we'll be broadcasting all of the girls' state tournament right here from the Relia booth. So
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you guys again.
all right, take care, Alex.
Thanks.
See ya. That was Alex Purdy, the head coach of the Watertown Lakers, and he has joined us all year long and does a really good job with the girls. He's in his second season as the head coach and has these girls clicking right along. So I'm not sure if we're going to take a break, Jeff, before the boys' game. Or are you going to talk? Are we going to talk to a guest?
Well, I suppose we could probably talk to a guest, but yeah, it might not hurt to take a little bit of a break.
Okay.
Nick
well,
could probably use a break.
Yep. Well, let's go to Nick, and if he's there, we will take a little break, I suppose, and then we'll just go back on.
Well,
probably.
then they'll have to come out and warm up. So probably not more than 5 minutes.
Okay, so let's see if we can get Nick to take us off the air here for a little bit. So you had a visitor up here, Jeff. Tell us a little bit about the visitor that you had.
Well, that was Vince Foley, and of course he had to come up because I sent him a note that the Gophers beat his Notre Dame team last night, and then of course he came up today and the Gophers beat him again, identical scores, which doesn't happen very often to begin with.
3-0 and 3-0. Yeah, that is kind of weird.
And then of course Notre Dame goes to Minnesota, wins both games.
Yep.
And Minnesota goes to Notre Dame and wins both games. And of course, I had said at the time they had to win both down there just to get a split on the season, but they could very well, depending on the Big Ten, I think the Big Ten has a conference championship, they could end up meeting again.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
okay, well, we'll talk. We'll be back here. We're going to take a short break. We're going to go back to Nick. If Nick is there, we're going to go back and we will come back for the boys' varsity action. We're probably going to come back in, what, about 10 minutes, maybe?
Oh, not even that.
5 minutes.
Yeah, let's go 5. No more than 5 because we may get Coach up here, Evan Witt.
Okay.
Want to get him on.
So, Nick, take us away for 5 minutes, and we will be back.
The Houston Texans. That is the only course of action for the Texans moving forward. Is to trade Deshaun Watson and get as much as humanly possible for the guy.
Now we're in great shape.
He doesn't want to be there. He's not coming around. J.J.